Oh, baby. Hello, nasty. Hello there. Hello. I say hello. Hello, friend. Well, hello, little girl. Hello, my treacherous friends. Hello, operator. The beginning of everything. Welcome back, my friends. It's showtime.
Everybody, it is episode 220 of the Brink of Sanity podcast. Mark is here as always.
Yes, I am here,
All
confirming what Jay said.
And for the first time in 3 years, we have Peter.
Hello.
How you doing, Peter?
Good. I'm well.
Excellent. Good to have you back.
Thank you.
I know.
Been 3 years.
We've been getting people clamoring for your triumphant return to the podcast.
This is our big reunion show.
I hope I disappoint. No, I don't.
So, we have a big show planned. We tried to get some Nigerian scams going. Nobody would give us their phone number this week.
So you're saying the Nigerians weren't reliable?
I am saying that. So if anybody gets one of those Nigerian scam emails with a phone number attached, forward it to thebrinkofsanity@gmail.com. We will call them, and we will make it hilarious.
It was a last-minute thing. Next time I'm on, which will be sooner than 3 years, we will have a few lined up.
So sometimes
I heard,
it is awesome.
actually
Right.
they no longer... they may still do Nigerian ones, but now there's Afghani ones.
They're every country, and they want your money.
Okay, yeah, any scam, it doesn't have to be Nigerian, but we need a phone number. That's the thing.
No, I just thought it was interesting they moved on to Afghanistan. They're like, people aren't falling for the Nigerian ones, but Afghanistan ones, that sounds legit.
Yeah, I'm an Afghani prince. Oh, well, that's totally different than Nigerian prince.
Do we ever do, I forget, do we ever do a wife, like get a wife from another country? Or do we just do somebody needing money to go into an account and they need a $5,000 from you to get the money in the account?
It was...
Get a wife?
Because I think we might want to get a wife from another country.
Oh, yeah.
I think that might be kind of fun.
Well, there's get a wife scams, too.
Yes.
How does get a wife one work?
I don't have a wife, but if I were to guess.
No.
I think what you do is you go and you
If
get
you
a
want to
wife
get a
from another
second
country.
Well, they email you. It's pretty much the same as the money
It's the same
scam.
thing. They just don't want money. They want to get you. They want to get into the country, and they want you to have. They want money, and then they disappear.
So, in other words, you get an email saying, "Do you want wife? I want wife. I'll click here."
And then
Yeah.
you send $9,000.
I actually-
$50,000.
No, I actually got one of those a couple weeks ago. It was like, hey, I saw your profile. You look cute. Let's talk. And obviously not saying what site or anything. So I said, this sounds totally real. Let's get married. That's literally what I wrote back. And then she sent me like 20 pics. I'm going to see if I could pull this up.
Oh, trying to find. Cause the thing is with the money thing, I could see like, well, I need money. We all need money, and money just sounds like something we all need. But money's it's fungible. Any kind of money is fine with me, but not any kind of wife is fine with me. If I wanted, let's say I was single and wanted a wife, I wouldn't just say, they emailed me about a wife. I'll take whichever one you have.
Right.
This sounds perfect for me. Someone.
Wait a second. Is she alive? Because I'm not doing it for a dead wife.
Oh, well,
You just typed in married, and you're
see, wow, this sounds totally real. Let's get married. Oh, yeah, it says, hello, I discovered your own image. I love you a lot. Why don't we communicate? I am a girl and just serious about a man. And I wrote, wow, this sounds totally real. Let's get married.
You are my dream girl. Being one.
I think I deleted all her emails.
What? Wow.
Wait.
How can you delete one?
How could you delete that?
She sent me like a bunch of
Do
pictures.
you not
but
do a podcast? That's gold.
Yeah, but it was pictures.
Let me try to delete everything that's going to be helpful for the show.
It was pictures. What am I going to do? Like, explain each picture? Like, she didn't send me a phone number or anything.
What kind of, are they like, is she naked in these pictures?
No,
or
no. It was like...
Or is she like baking a pie? Like, look, I can bake.
Yeah, it's just like a normal person in a dress. It wasn't like, it wasn't even like a bikini pic or anything. But it was like 20 pictures. And then she's like...
It's all the same person, clearly.
Yeah, it's all the same person that they probably found on Google Images.
In her everyday
It was probably
life.
like, like a Russian model that I wouldn't know about or something. And then...
Was she attractive?
Yeah, of course. They're not going to have like a...
Was there a
butt
picture of her
over-
doing like house duties, like
Somebody with a
vacuuming?
deformity.
Let's get married. Sure, I weigh 300 pounds
All
and I
I-
have one eye.
All
and a
I
huge
offer
forehead.
you is no arm.
Yeah.
Okay, if she sent the pictures and she had one arm and an eye patch, wouldn't your response be, "Oh, it might just be a legitimate email"?
True.
Yeah, you don't fake that.
They don't think that far ahead though.
Yeah, you might just be like, "Oh, I guess this is the girls with one arms and a stump leg. This is how they meet people by sending out these random emails." That makes sense to me.
Give her $200 in a conversation. I don't know. Never met anyone with a stump leg and an eye patch.
So they send the email saying, "Wife, you want me serious now?" And you respond, "Sounds good. What's like? So I need money to get here. Send me
That was back
$9,000?"
in May. She never responded. You gave her an in. I can't imagine she gets many ins. She
No,
never
no,
responded.
she did respond. I'm gonna see how back my deleted mail goes because my deleted mail deleted. Yeah. Anyway, she sent all those pics and it was just a normal chick, and then I didn't respond, and then like 2 days later she wrote, "You didn't respond. Here's 10 more pictures of me looking totally normal in normal clothes." Like,
Look, I am a normal girl. Here's me playing checkers.
I am totally not a guy trying to scam money.
Did she say
That
what country
picture
she
of me
originated
playing
from?
with my
No, but it
Adam's
looked-
apple
looked
is
Russian.
real.
It's always Russian. I don't know. Isn't it?
The ones looking for brides are always Russians. The ones with princes are always Nigerian.
That's true.
So
What about do they have any other ones like you want pet dog? That's really good to dog from Kenya.
I'm like scouring my junk mail right now, hoping
do
I
you
missed
have?
one.
Do you want slave? We still sell them here in Uganda.
I like when they send those spam emails where it's supposed to be from your friend.
Why? What do you mean?
Right, but suddenly your friend has a Hotmail account and there's 9 Qs after their name.
Yeah, like, I exchange emails with you, Mark Kaplan, and then it'll be like an email that says, "This is Mark Kaplan." Like you would email me your first and last name.
Right. We are friends, yes? Of course, yes.
See, here's one. Alex, our other co-host.
Alex Farrell from Alex Farrell.
Yeah, it says Alex Farrell, and then the subject is from Alex Farrell.
Oh,
That
This
must be
must
from
be legit.
Alex Farrell.
The best is when they do it from me.
Right.
They'll be like, "From Jason McKenna," and I'm like, "No."
Oh, I know him.
You don't even know how to send spam out. I did not email
You're-
myself.
you mean the future me is sending the today's me spam?
Yeah.
My God.
I blacked out last night and tried to Nigerian prince scam myself.
That actually
Now I
reminds
wanna
me of a
look through my
Simpsons
junk mail.
episode where Homer was pretending to be Mr. Burns. And they're like, "Oh, hello, Mr. Burns. What is your first name?"
I don't know.
I don't know. Sells it. Somehow we thought that was the next plan of action.
Yeah. Hello,
would
I'm
work.
Mr. Burns. I would like to pick up my mail. Okay, Mr. Burns, what's your first name? I don't know.
And I'm still in this, but I don't know my first name.
Classic Simpsons.
Is it any good anymore? I only watch the reruns.
No.
You know the answer to that question.
I do. But
It's
I
a
keep hoping
horrific
after.
travesty.
I haven't asked it in 2 years, so I thought 2015 might be a different story. I don't know.
Oh, I found one of those. Die Richter from Die Richter.
Yes. Okay. So we'll try and get some prank calls going for next episode. Before we get into the listener questions, I can't wait anymore, Peter. I have to hear your story. Peter moved. He hasn't been on the show a while since he was last on the show.
Did he move to Nigeria and is he a prince now and he's going to offer me a wife?
Yes.
Perhaps. Pay attention. Stay tuned.
This is the long con.
Okay.
So so Peter, you bought a house.
I did.
And
Where's your house?
My house is in the south slope of Brooklyn.
No, we want the actual address so listeners can come over.
Okay, the zip code and my social security number are. No, I'm
Bank account number would be fine. Go on.
okay.
Okay, you're living in Brooklyn. Go on.
All right. So I was hanging out with Jay a few weeks ago, and I was speaking of we basically bought a house, and we got it for a great deal. And what we realized going into it naively is that it came with a 95-year-old woman in the basement who was
When you say great deal, I don't even know how much you spent on your house, but like percentage wise, like how much percent below did you think you got? Like 10% below what you should have
no
spent?
more.
20%?
More? We got a very good deal. Basically, what happened is, this guy sold us a house, and he had a 94-year-old woman living in the basement. God bless him, he did not want to kick her out and put her on the street. So he said, sell you this house. He wasn't selling it to developers. But you have to keep this woman. I said, okay.
Like, keep her as a concubine?
Keep her. She was going to live there as long as she was going to live there, was basically what we signed on for.
Did you find this through, like, how did you find the place? Through, like, a broker? Like, I've got a good deal for
dicey,
you.
Like, it wasn't on Street Easy or any of those. It was sort of on, I don't know, through another website or something. So we get there.
GrannyHomes.com?
What's that?
GrannyHomes.com?
Right. I've never heard of it, but you know what? You're just excited. We're getting our ass kicked in the search to find a place. So we said, all right, we'll take it on.
Was it an email like, you want house me have with old
Right.
person?
I have house. It was broken English from a 98-year-old.
You're like, fuck it, I'm going to reply to this. We need a house.
So we decided to do it, and we took her on, and she was paying us a minor amount of rent in the basement, and it was it was a legitimate apartment. It was set up. So the first thing that was sort of interesting is she went to go sign her first rent check, and she signed my name with the number 6. She wrote it out to PE6ER. That was the first sign something was a little bit amiss.
How old is she?
93 or 4?
I mean, so she's like almost older than time.
Yes. But we did right by her. She lived there for a while.
So what's
This is where I told Peter to stop telling me, because you notice he said for a while. As
Yeah.
in
I want to
past
see.
tense.
I assume she dies, but
She
don't,
doesn't
I'm not gonna
die.
ruin the end.
She
Don't
doesn't
ruin
die.
the ending for me. Come on.
She went missing for a while.
Wait, what's the just backtrack. What's the sixer thing?
What's that?
The thing where she signs your name with a 6.
She has a bit of dementia. Or something. I don't know. But she went to go write a check out, and she put a 6 in my name. My name is not spelled with a 6.
Are you sure you're not spelling your own name wrong?
Positive.
And that's not the way she just wrote T's?
No, it was clearly a 6.
Okay.
Why would you jump to T? Like, I
Because
would
he
jump
said-
to maybe like a weird A, but you jump to a T?
Because he said PE6ER.
Oh.
You're not even following. You're lost already. We didn't even get to the
I'm
meat and
lost
potatoes of
already.
the story.
The did you correct her and go, "Oh, I don't have a 6 in the
Did to
middle."
some extent.
Or would the bank take that?
No. So we tried a few more times.
Oh, the bank wouldn't take it?
No. So you're like, I know you, PETER. That's not you.
You know, my license has a T there, but for slang I put a 6 because I'm gangster.
Right, it's my rapper name.
You're clearly not P6er.
So you know what? She basically went on. It's actually not as good of a story as you think it is. I mean, she went. It was just a lot of batshit stuff that happened over and over. She was really kind of cool. She swore like a trucker. She was sort of
but
affected by.
Where we're at with the story is that she's lost.
What
Well,
else? Hang
she
on.
all right.
What else-
So she
what else
got
happened?
lost. All of a sudden, we did not know where she was, and we were trying to find her. And it's actually sort of a sad story. She doesn't have any family or friends, so we're trying to like navigate her.
Well, 94, they're probably all dead.
Well, they're yes.
Yeah,
that is
she
true.
probably had family and friends.
Yeah, she's a survivor.
She is a survivor. She had this wheelchair that was powered. It looked like an television joystick, right? It had this little stick that came up, and had 4 bars. And when it was on the 4th bar, it was fully charged. Hers was always on 1 bar.
All
Always.
listeners are Googling in
And
television right now.
I would talk to her and be like, where are you going to? Oh, I'm going here. I'm going to the doctor's office. I'm going to this place, and I got to get this, and I have to come back. I'm like, you have 1 bar on your electric power wheelchair. 1 bar. She's like, yeah, no, I got it.
Maybe she goes manual.
1 bar
that's-
equals 1 days of traveling, right?
So
Maybe
she, no
she
matter
had
where
big
she
bus-
went, what she did, she always had 1 bar. She went missing for about 2
Do you,
months.
wait, hang on. Do you think it's like you're like, I gotta charge my iPhone, and the woman's like, I'm charging my electric wheelchair. You're like, God damn it, finish! Come on, you don't need 2 bars.
I think that things were just made better back then. She always had 1 bar in a wheelchair, and she got everywhere she needed to go. She's actually kind of an amazing woman. She would just she was able to navigate the bus perfectly. She got to where she needed to go. She went missing for a while, and we found out she was in a rehabilitation center, and her foot was ran over by a car, apparently.
How?
But she has a fake leg, and she's in a wheelchair.
She's
So
a fake leg.
We're not 100% sure how that went, but that's
hang
what
on,
she
hang on.
says.
Can we slow down with this story? You're just jumping
There's
into
so
random
much going on.
pieces.
It's like
Yes.
Yeah, you're like, anyway, so she's now officially living as a bat. Anyway, so I'm going to move on with the story.
No, she exploded into that.
She's made out of pickles. Anyway,
It wouldn't have been the weirdest thing that happened.
tapioca came out of her nose. So tell me, like, what point, like, this happened recently? She disappeared?
No, this was as she was our tenant. She disappeared for a while.
This is like 2 years ago, a year ago, yesterday.
No, this would have been fall of 2014.
So how long do you think it takes you to notice that she's no longer there? Like, you guys say goodnight to every day, right? Like,
No, and we don't live there at this point. We are renovating it, and we're not too stringent on the rent checks because, you know what, she's 93, and you know what, she's late. We're not really going to be too affected by it,
we're
but
taking that old bitch to
all of a
court.
sudden it's 2 months and there's no sign of her. We think that something is amiss.
So do you feel bad that you haven't been checking in on Estelle?
Well, we did check on her for a while. Like, I was trying to find if she had a next of kin, and she listed somebody. So I was like, all right, that's great. You know, because
Who is this Jesus H guy?
we absolutely, positively did the right thing by her every step of the way. Mm-hmm. We did.
But did you
We coulda
like
kicked
every
her
night
out
you didn't go
many
and check like
times.
Estelle, are you okay, Estelle? Good night, Estelle. And eventually you just stop checking on her and she doesn't feel loved anymore.
Well, the elephant in the room is when she leaves. You know, it's like
She really leaves.
she leaves. But anyhow, so I did this whole search trying to find who her next of kin was, who she listed as a next of kin, and I did the rounds and found out, and I found out that ultimately it was me. She listed me. I was the person who was listed, so the whole thing came back to me again.
When you look for her, did you place like nail signs to post around the city, being like, "Old woman, kind of looks like this,
Has
if
peg
found,
leg and in a
please."
wheelchair.
But nobody would have known it. All of a sudden, she pulled her leg off, and my jaw dropped. I was like, "Yeah, I didn't know that."
Has realistic plastic
Wait.
foot.
Swears like a trucker, wears a wig, and is kind of cool. You know what? I feel like anybody under 90 is kind of a pussy, frankly. I mean, this woman deals with what she deals with and does it well.
Mm-hmm.
But
Hang
ultimately,
on. She
ended up in a rehabilitation center, and I think she's doing fine. I don't know.
You don't know?
It is.
Wait,
what
why
it
did she?
is.
Why did she wear a wig? Did she want to fool people that think she's like 80 instead of 90?
She had a wig on. It was.
My professor right now is like 75 and he's wearing a wig.
She
And it's
would-
like jet black.
She would, well, basically, you'd be talking to her, and then she'd wheel into the other room and come back, and she'd have the wig on halfway through the conversation.
I've grown hair in the last 2 minutes.
They'll never notice.
It was kind of like mittens. She would just sort of put them on as she put them on.
Tell me the leg thing. So what's you,
We
you
also- I
alluded
guess
to
this
this
is mildly-
insanity
Guess this is mildly interesting.
mildly.
Well,
This
I
is
guess
amazing.
It's mildly interesting. You know what? I will say I did like her. I think she was an interesting person. She's a strong woman. We had to move her into a motel for 10 days because we had to renovate certain parts of the house. And
They gutted. Basically, they just
yes,
they made
Are
it
you-
just a frame of a house.
yes.
Are you just keep dancing around the leg story because you know it's going to make me more like make me anticipate it even more? Come on,
I didn't guess that she didn't have a leg.
Wait,
And
did
the
you see her
comedy
take her
is
leg off?
not the comedy, but she ended up in a rehabilitation center because her leg was ran over by a car. But she's in a wheelchair. That's not possible. But it's also the second time that her foot was ran over by a car, from my recollection of how things went down. So her foot was run over by a car twice. No one saw anything, but she ended up in the rehabilitation center.
Do you think every time she's like, I'm gonna try walking one more time. I'm gonna put my foot on the road. Ah!
She was an honorary bitch. I think that she just did her own thing, And the first week we moved in, she goes to our contractor. Oh, we weren't renovating her place. She goes, oh, you gotta take my couch out of here. He's like, why? You gotta get my couch out of here. He's like, Peter promised me a brand new couch. He's like, really? That's doesn't sound like my job as a contractor to get a couch and give it to you.
She's still trying to pull fast ones.
It really isn't on my list of things to do today, but that's what he said. Yes, please take the couch out of here and tell him that he needs to purchase a new couch for me and bring it to me now.
And a diamond-encrusted peg leg.
Right. And he said so. She ended up in the rehabilitation, doing great, and she's better, but she had 4 wheelchairs and 2 legs, actually. 2 fake legs we found. I did go through the place thinking there would be some sort of a weird buried treasure. There was not.
That's a pretty good buried treasure, the 2 fake legs.
So wait, you said the basement's not finished.
No, it's gutted.
So, was she living in dirt?
No. We gutted it after
getting ready for the afterlife.
While she was there, it was fine.
That's the part of the story I
we
missed
didn't renovate the
last time I
basement.
saw you.
Yeah.
Because Peter was giving me the tour, and he's like, the basement's not finished. But we bought the place with a 94-year-old in it. So I just pictured this old lady like living in dirt for like 50 years.
Jay,
Right.
I think we have a caller.
She lives at the bottom of a well as we designated for her.
I think we have a caller. I think Estelle's on the line. Hello, Peter. Why did you leave me in the dirt? I had to leave because you leave me in the dirt. Why did you do that to me? Why did you stop saying goodnight to me, Peter?
All I'm saying is I'm glad that we don't live there while she lives there. Although I do want to visit her again soon because...
Why don't you pivot? I have little candies for you, Peter. Peter, do you want my candy?
She didn't have candy, man. I opened up her refrigerator. There was like a bat wing and a couple carrots. She had crazy shit in her refrigerator.
Peter, I might have left a fake limb at my plate. Could you bring my fake limb back?
Or 9 of them.
Isn't it like a requirement that if you're over 80, you have to have Werther's Original somewhere in your apartment?
Yes, but the good part about that is Werther's Original realizes that, and they up their game. Now they're chocolate covered and they're chewy, and there's all sorts of benefits.
I know they have chewable ones that are really good.
Have you ever been upset you got a Werther's Original?
No, they're good.
They're really good.
They're really good. No, what I get upset with is if it's an old lady like puts a bowl of hard candy in front of me, and it's just like cherry and lemon
or ribbon.
Yeah,
fuck you.
Like, I don't like any of these, but I feel obligated to take one.
Right. It's like it has like a strawberry on the candy, but then it tastes like ass. And you're like,
yeah.
Although I will say your house is a
strawberry.
little awesome. Every like 4 or 5 feet, there's a giant bowl of chocolate or candy. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I might go have one soon.
Some of them do the candy good. Some of them they have just bowls of shit, and they offer it to you every 10 minutes, and you're like, all right, I gotta come up with a plan to not have this.
Giant fucking clump.
Yeah.
So where's this rehab place that she's living in?
Somewhere in Brooklyn.
So
I'm going soon. Maybe we can get her as a guest. I don't know.
Can we get her on the
Swears a
show?
lot.
Could you? We're doing a podcast this weekend. Would you mind living till this weekend?
She would actually be. You know what? She would be amazing.
I would
I'd
love
be
to
down
ask
for
her
that.
about
I've gotten
the Civil
her
War.
We had to check her into a motel room for 10 days while we were renovating, and she does. The problem is she pees everywhere. How you cool with that?
She could phone in.
Yeah,
I don't think
Skype,
she
right?
knows Skype.
No, we could just you could call from a cell phone, put it on speaker.
She doesn't have a cell phone. I bought her a cell phone and she didn't understand it.
I will buy her a burner phone. We could call
She doesn't understand. She didn't understand
Jay.
her rotary phone.
Can she call from
She
Morse
spelled
code?
my name with a 6.
Well, you're her next of kin, so you're obligated to dial the number, put it on speaker, and then you
If
can
she
leave.
comes on this show, she's sitting right here, and she's in a wheelchair, and we have to lift her up, and she's going to swear like a trucker, and she's going to be awesome.
You know what? All
And
right,
she's going to make...
diapers. Throw her in
Does-
some diapers.
She does wear that.
We're
yes.
good to go then. As long as there's not a puddle of pee, totally
So-
fine with it.
We'll tell that to the comfort.
when
Inn.
she's out of rehab, does she move back in with you?
What's that?
When she's out of rehab, does she get to move back in?
No,
with you?
it's sort of a nice ending in that she wanted to live in this. She said the first day we met her, like, you're welcome to stay here as long as you want. Well, that's a rehabilitation center, but great, okay. And as it turns out, you can live there. They have permanent residence in the back, so she ended up living there. Like, they're like, yeah, we'll take her on.
Are you upset to not be getting rent checks now?
No.
Or was she like
They're minimal.
was she rent controlled, so she was still paying like $56?
She was the price that she was paying was set up by the person that we bought the place from.
Mm-hmm.
So it was fine, but she did try to. She was a little awesome. She'd be like, "What's the rent? $9?" No, we'd go through this every month. It's not $9, and you know it's not $9, and you're not getting a new couch. And please,
Are you trying to find a new old woman to live there?
Yes, I want somebody much older now, though.
Okay,
Yeah,
like
apparently
100.
I want somebody with
94
no legs, no arms, and at least 100.
Just a stump.
You
Right.
know, honey. It was kind of cool having an old woman living with us. What if we get a new one?
But these 94-year-olds don't go down quick enough. I mean, we want some rent, but we don't want like a permanent roommate.
Oh, go down.
Why don't-
Right.
Here's
Oh,
the-
no,
why-
not like that. Oh, no,
okay,
no.
Okay.
Why don't you turn your basement into a hospice? You get
You know
rent, and you know they're not going to be there that long.
Yeah. You know what, though? I think she's I don't know. She's probably still alive now, killing it. I don't know.
You think she listens to the show?
No.
Probably. I mean, we have like 7 million listeners, so
I think that she could be on the show. I think that if I think that I could work it out so that she's funny. She swears and she's funny. There you go. Done. What else do you need?
Do you think Jay's ratings will go up if she dies in the show?
No.
no, we're huge in the 89 to 97 category.
That's your demographic.
Yeah, and so it'll go down if she dies.
Those people that have been alive for a century, we nail that audience.
They're like, all right, I've literally listened to every single thing possible on the planet. I'll try Brink now.
What would you want to, so Jay? What would you want to ask someone who's 94 years old?
I asked her everything. Honestly, I asked her because I sat with her for a lot. I would ask her, "Were you during the Depression? What did you do this time? What did you do that? Like how?" But the thing is, she also part of the story I left out. She did have dementia, so she would make crazy shit up all the time. So you'd have to sort of sift through.
I worked in the knitting factory with Captain America.
Right.
Part of that story doesn't
What's your
sound
name?
correct.
Sandwich. Oh. So, you know what? It would be. I don't know if it'd be exploiting her to be on the show. She would have a good time.
In my 20s, I hoard myself out to the Deadpool.
Look, if she has a good time and we have a good time, there's no
Then it's
harm
fine.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Good time by everybody.
Maybe we'll create controversy, which would be even better.
These assholes just make fun of old women all episode.
You know what? I never marginalized her. I always sort of stayed in it with her, and secretly laughed at a lot of shit. But you know what? I thought she was lovely.
You
So
know,
how
if she's
long- how long
entertaining,
she
you
live
don't
with
need
you
She's
for?
her.
entertaining as hell.
Yeah.
She's entertaining as hell. She would honestly. She was. I thought she was quite funny. She wants to screw you over. She swears a lot. And she's ornery as fuck because people that age are.
Yeah.
Like, she was at the senior home and she would basically had an electric wheelchair. She would knock people the fuck down. Like, she wouldn't look where she's going. She'd back into people.
Is she doing it on
She'd knock
purpose,
over.
or is she doing...
I don't know, maybe.
If she's doing it on purpose, then she's awesome, and we need to get her on the show.
I think that she didn't care. Like, she would run over people's feet in the senior center, and they'd say, "Stephanie, you can't do that. That's not what you do." And she'd be like, That's what I did.
What are people going to do? Oh, yeah, Olay, I'm going to kill you. Oh, yeah, life's probably going to beat you to that.
Yeah, no, she sounds awesome.
She's
Yeah, so get her on the show.
She's pretty cool. I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, seriously. That would be actually, that'd be our best guest we'd ever get. No,
It's a pretty good guest. I mean,
I would think she'd be an awesome guest. If she talk about, like, just the olden days.
I see. I love that. That's what I'm saying. Everybody under 85 is a pussy. Like, honestly, the shit that you have to deal with, like the depression and all of that, and the wars and everything. Like, what is think about all the things you've complained about in the last week.
Oh, forget it. I got a man
complained
cold. I'm, like, freaking out.
I had to jumpstart my car this morning, and I was like peeing in my pants pissed. You know what?
At least you know how to do that.
I looked it up on YouTube.
Okay, there you go.
Positive,
I would
positive.
have to as well.
I did kind of know how, but
I know like 2 prongs go to 2 prongs, but I don't know where to what. Something
yeah,
on the
positive,
battery.
positive, negative, negative. I'm sitting here with on a YouTube video. Got it. All right. And then some guy pulled over to help us out, and he crossed the 2 things, and they sparked. I'm like, no, just freaking Eric, the car guy said not to do that. Watch.
I'm always amazed at how little I know about cars. I could put in gas, and I think I could put air in the tires. I could pour oil in, but I can't do an oil change. But I can add oil. That's it.
I've always thought that if I did have a flat tire, I could change that flat tire. But I don't know if I don't know why I have that faith in myself, because I don't know if I actually could do that.
I think the only part I think I would have trouble with is the jack.
Changing of the tire.
Well, I could
The
take
part
the
involving
Yeah, the
getting
jack.
tire.
Here's the thing: you have to put it at. I did it in high school. You have to put the jack at the frame of the car, because if you
Yeah, if
put
you
it
don't,
like
you
in
like
the
crumple
door,
your door and
which
shit.
I
right?
did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a certain part. I wouldn't have a clue where that part was, but I think
Exactly.
it should be obvious when you look into the car what that part. Right?
I know there's a spot not to put it under. I just don't know where the correct spot is. So I'm like halfway there.
The same thing with jumper cables. Like, I know it goes on this part here, but is it all the way down at the tip? Where does it go?
Right.
But it's kind of, you get it. I don't know. Happens.
But you could just check. Like, did you look on your phone for YouTube? Or
Yeah, I just went on my phone, YouTube jump car, because I didn't want to look like a jackass.
Yeah, but I feel like most guys just like know this.
No, I don't think that's correct. I don't
No?
think in New York it is, because I was looking at it, and I was like 95% there, but I asked 2 people at the hardware store. I was like, I don't know, dude.
Really?
I don't know.
See, a lot of my Long Island friends, like, they know a lot about cars.
It's also a New York thing, too. Like,
Well, because we
it's
don't drive. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you drive, but like, not most of the time.
Not often.
Yeah. I drive like once every 3 months when I go to Long Island to visit my parents. And then I'm driving like 10 minutes to like my buddy's house to drink beers. So like,
Right, I'm in a stretch subway.
yeah.
Here's a car thing that happened to me today, because now we're in the suburbs, and so my wife takes the car to the train station, and then once the nanny gets here, I'm supposed to go to the train station also. I call like, wife leaves. We're gonna leave with the cars. The nanny's actually gonna drop me off the train, and she's like, "Hey, where are the keys?" And I call my wife, and she's like, "Oh, shoot, the keys are with me." I was like, "Okay, well, we have a backup set." "Oh, the backup set of keys are with me." And I was like, "So I have a car, but with no way to access the car."
Oh, man.
It was kind of annoying this morning.
So
She's like, "Don't we have another set of keys?" How many sets of keys do you think we have for the car?
We have 1.
We have the one they gave you and the backup set, and you have both of them for some ungodly known reason. You have all the keys with you.
Wait,
And
the person took the keys and the backup?
Yeah, my wife took the keys and the backup. Not the person, my wife.
Oh.
Did she explain why she did that?
Because I don't know.
That kind of defeats the purpose of the backup.
Yeah, she was like, I
And
don't know
there's
why
no
the backup
need
is
for
in my
2.
bag. I think when we got the car, she just put the backup keys in this bag and never looked
Okay,
again.
fair enough. Accidental. That's fine.
Yeah, no, I don't think she was like. Maybe this is her like subtle ways of trying to drive me insane.
She's like, I'll take these and these, and she's just like shoving
This'll
keys
fuck
into
with
her
him.
bag.
She's like, well, why don't you call Honda roadside assistance and they'll open the car up? And I'm like, I'm not calling roadside assistance to my garage. I don't want to be like, I'm gonna wait for an hour and they're like, well, we're on the highway. You are you? I'm right next to the highway, about 2 miles off in my house.
just ring my doorbell. I'm in my living room.
Did you
And would it kill you to bring me a sandwich?
Yeah. bring me a beer.
Did you lock the keys in the car? I didn't lock the keys as much as the keys are in New Jersey right now, and the person with them in New Jersey is not bringing them back till tonight.
I actually did that when I was in college. I used to deliver pizza for a place, and I drove up to a dorm, and I went in, and I had like 2,500 fucking pizzas in my car, and I locked the keys in the car with the pizza in the car running.
Oh man.
And it ended up AAA. Fuck, what do you do?
I think you quit the job right there and just like.
Did they come quick, or did you have like a car full of cold pizzas?
I had a car full of cold pizzas.
Ugh.
The guy who owned it was Paul's Pizza. The guy Paul was pissed.
I can rightfully so.
He made
Really?
me buy
He
all
was?
the pizza. And then I actually brought the pizza to the bar where a lot of my friends were. And like I walked around a bar and handed it all out.
Oh, the people that like actually ordered the pizza, they wouldn't take it anymore.
No, because it was like 3 hours. It was fucking- I went to University of Connecticut, so there wasn't, it was like the middle of cow country. So, and also I didn't have AAA. So by the time I got my car open, I think I had to call the police, who came with, what was that thing? The fucking, like the jack that went in.
The life lock, or
No, that long tube, the snake. No, that's for toilet.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that.
You didn't want to try it to like that when you deliver it, go like, "Hey guys, the pizza, same day delivery."
Here is a cold pizza 3 hours later. That goes well at parties.
60 hours or less. What's the problem?
Remember yesterday when you were at a party? Here's the pizza you ordered yesterday.
We did used to pick toppings off the pizza though, as we delivered it. Now and then I would take a pepperoni or two off of it.
It's amazing the shit jobs you do in college. I had the same thing with me and Bri actually worked at a movie theater, and we get to take home all the hot dogs. So we would plan
Awesome.
we would have like a sack of like 50, and then we would just go to the college radio station and do a show, and we'd be like, first caller gets a hot dog, as well as the next 25 callers.
I think I might actually have it for college jobs. I was a janitor in a morgue.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa, were you just
Yeah.
going for good stories?
No. You know what? The best story was that I did it 1 day a week and I got paid for 7 hours, but I swept like a motherfucker and I got the whole thing done in 3 hours. And it was the life science building, so let's face it, no one cares.
It wasn't like the
Right, the Oval Office. No one cares if it's dusty in a
no,
morgue.
but it wasn't like the room where they're like embalming.
Well,
Yeah.
it was. I mean, it was the life science building, so it was all the students who.
But did you have to like sweep up like bodily fluids?
No, it was
Okay.
like fucking like eyeballs and livers and stuff.
Right,
around.
right. Okay.
Were there dead bodies around you?
In containers that I didn't see, but you know what? I still had a sense of work ethic. I still swept that. I was like, can't be dusty.
Not to. I'm sure you wouldn't do this. But did you ever take advantage of the dead bodies?
Did I have sex with a dead body?
Yeah. You could just
define
imagine.
sex.
I guess sticking anything of yours in theirs.
What's that?
Sticking anything of yours in theirs.
Sticking anything important into a dead body. Did I ever do that?
Tongues too.
Did you
I
ever
fell in
penetrate-
love with the
did you ever
I
penetrate
fell in
a
love with
dead
the
body?
cadaver once, but I didn't have the nerve to actually go forward and do anything.
Rejected by a dead body.
Yes.
Just steal it and bring it back to the apartment. Just have it sitting on your couch when your roommates wake up.
Did you know when you applied? Did it say like with the ad like want to sweep up dead people place? Or
No,
it,
there
like-
was no. It was basically what is it called in school? You have work study.
Work study, yeah,
Work
yeah.
study. It was
Yeah.
work study.
Oh,
All right, that's available. I can sweep. And
mine was at the radio station. I think that was a little better.
You got
know,
the radio. You got a radio station.
Yeah.
I'm doing this for free now. I would certainly prefer this
Hell yeah.
to being a janitor in a morgue.
I worked my way up to program director, and then I had half my classes were centered around it. So that's how I got through college. I had like radio production, and it was like the finals.
That was work study.
Yeah, this is,
yeah.
really?
Well, I had
Jesus
one work
Christ.
study at the Student Activity Center.
Wow, you win.
And the Student Activity Center, like part of my job was like be security for the annual festival. So like I was like security for like the Roots and G Love and Special Sauce, and so I
Really?
would just
What the fuck?
basically I just stood in front of the stage and watched because like I'm gonna do shit. Like if somebody's rushing the stage, I'm a pussy. I'm not really gonna do
Right,
anything.
and I swept up dirt and was tempted by dead bodies.
so I basically
I want to rush the
just go front row
stage.
seats.
It's that way.
Yeah,
Go
yeah,
on.
exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, like
The,
I had
I just
access
love-
to like G Love's what do you call it, a trailer where they like dress up. So I just like picked 3 hot girls out of the crowd. I'm like, you guys want to meet G Love? Let's go back there. I was the worst security guard ever.
Peter, did you do the same thing? Hey, you want
And
to
I
meet
was
dead
the
body?
best janitor ever. Damn you.
I did nothing gets you more dead. You know what? I was just gonna look up I don't know why you just G Love. I wanted to look up G Love to see what they look like.
The girls love
And
G
so-
Love.
But
What
I
was their
typed
song?
in
I
G.
forget.
I typed in G Love without the
Cool
like
beverages.
without a line in between.
Mm-hmm.
So I just got a Google search for gloves.
Gloves. Yeah, girls love G Love. You guys want to do some Facebook questions?
Yes, I'm gonna pee quick. I'll be back in 1 minute.
Sure.
All right.
Or we can just sit in silence while Mark Google's G Love.
I can't believe I get Google glove. I'm going to read. I'm sure Peter won't mind.
He's actually
I'm
really good.
What'd you say?
He's actually really good.
I like the music. I'm just going to read the review from iTunes.
Oh yeah.
This is by PC915. Review of The Brink of Sanity. That's the title of his review. 5 stars. I listen on my way to work, and it usually 2 or 3 guys talking about things that really annoy them, or funny articles on InfoWars. Jay the straight man is at the everyman of the group that usually tries to keep the show moving. Mark and Bry are typically trying to pull in different funny directions, sometimes to Jay's dismay. I really enjoy the pod, and I'm a happy subscriber. I hope you guys continue with the pod and are enjoying it. Thanks for something that makes my Mondays, sometimes Tuesdays, more bearable.
That's
Thank
awesome.
you, PC.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was an awesome review. If you want to write an awesome review for Break of Sanity or the next podcast, put them on iTunes, and we would be more than happy to read them. Actually, we'd love to read them.
It helps us in the rankings too. So we
It
want
helps
the
us get
show to
through life.
grow. New subscriber. If you're listening to the show, subscribe on iTunes too. Even if you listen to it through other means, subscribe because that helps us in the iTunes rankings.
If you're listening to the show, tell someone else that you're listening, and maybe they'll listen too. That would help us also.
That would. So he said I'm the straight man. Does that mean I'm just not funny?
I thought they were just saying you weren't gay.
I mean, I know I try and keep the show like going, which is fine.
Are you really going to read into the 5-star review? Wait, why is the 5-star review
Grab one of your
offend me?
candies.
Well, I mean, we got one like every 5 months, so I figure that's like a large percentage of the audience, and if they're
Peter, would you
Yeah.
be insulted if someone called you the straight man? And we just read we have an iTunes review. We just
Yep.
read the review. It was 5 stars, and they called Jay the straight man, and Jay now is insulted.
I'm not insulted. I'm just
No.
concerned that like maybe I'm found as the not funny person. On the
No,
show.
that doesn't mean. I don't think that means not funny. That means that you have a delivery that keeps a steady balance to the show.
Well,
Yeah,
then thank you
I
very
would
much.
agree
I
with
love that now.
You guys ever watch the Christopher Guest movies?
No, I know
Like,
of them, but I haven't
Duffman
really
and all
seen
that.
them.
Like
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily.
We have to go back
bad
a little more,
thing.
like Abbott and Costello.
I
back to, like-
don't think
Costello
either
and
of them are funny.
No,
frankly.
no, but like I think Abbott was the straight man.
All right, so what comedy duos or comedy teams?
You didn't like Abbott and Costello? I liked Abbott and Costello.
They-
Three
no, they had, like,
Stooges.
two
Anyone
funny
think the
bits.
Three Stooges? I find it to be excruciating.
Laurel and
myself.
Hardy.
I don't know.
All right, maybe
I'm
we'll
not
move,
familiar with their brand of comedy.
Maybe we'll move forward from
What-
the 30s.
What's a modern day?
Maybe move backwards with any comedy routines from the 1860s we could bring up.
I Love
I
Lucy.
got a good one, actually.
Good with 50s.
Not funny.
Naked Gun movies. Leslie Nielsen was basically the straight man.
Yeah, Leslie, he had a good delivery. Like Phil Hartman. Phil Hartman was the straight man, but hilarious, right?
Yeah, he kind of grounded the bit a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he died, but
It's
I'm
goddamn
sure that
white.
won't happen to you.
Yeah, so don't
Don't get shot in the face by my wife.
Yes.
don't have your wife catch
Thank
you
you.
having an affair if she knows where the guns are.
He had an affair?
Yeah, that's the story. Was I think? She
Oh, I
fought-
thought she just went crazy. And,
That's what I thought too.
Let's find out, Google.
I'll start reading questions while you Google this.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure she caught him having an affair and shot him and then.
Oh, yeah. I thought I didn't read into that at all.
I could have made that story up.
I
also.
think you did. But, yeah, you Google that while I read some questions.
Okay.
Stephen writes, Jay, have you heard of HeroClix? It's a collectible miniatures game. It leaves both Marvel...
Oh, here we go. Death. Okay.
Let me finish the question. It features both Marvel and DC characters. I've heard of it. I have not played it. All right, now you can go.
Okay. On the evening of basically 1998 in May, Bryn Hartman visited the Italian restaurant Buca di Tepo in California with producer and writer Christine Zander, who said
that
she
was his problem. I'm kidding.
she was in a good frame of mind. After returning to the couple's nearby home, Bryn started a heated argument with her husband, who threatened to leave her if she started using drugs again, after which she went to bed. While Hartman slept, Bryn entered his bedroom shortly after 3 a.m. with a .38 caliber shotgun and fatally shot him in the
So
head.
we were right. She just.
Oh, you guys were right,
Yeah.
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 Phil Hartman was a nice guy. Nobody on Pee Wee's Playhouse is gonna do something like that.
Was he on Pee Wee's Playhouse?
Yeah, he was Cowboy. No, he wasn't Cowboy Curtis. He was that was Lawrence Fishburne. He was
Shut up. You're making shit up now. Lawrence Fishburne was on Pee Wee's Playhouse?
Yeah.
he was
Yes,
Cowboy
that's
Curtis.
Yeah, that's true.
Fuck is that? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was like
He
the
was on Pee Wee's Playhouse also. Hartman, it's in the Wikipedia page.
yeah.
Wow.
He was the
Captain Carl.
Captain Carl. That's
I like
right.
that you did a search for Pee Wee and he said Pee Wee P, and then the first thing that came up was Pee Wee Herman Philippines. What happened there?
Yeah. We're gonna have to go back to that. I want to see a Philippine version of Pee Wee's Play. Yeah.
Fred Armisen is actually the Phil Hartman of the last decade, I would say.
That's a kind of an insult to Phil Hartman's dead body. Fred Armisen's
I don't
not
know.
that
You know what?
Phil
Fred
Hartman's
Armisen is
so
good.
much funnier.
Fred Armisen is one of the better Saturday Night Live guys. He's in like my all-time top 10.
I would say
Really?
so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Well, there he is with Pee Wee Herman. You know
I
what?
think he's
Killing it.
mildly
Look
fun.
at that facial expression. Kills it.
Absolutely.
Every time, guy's committed.
Ah.
There's
No, I
Lawrence
feel like Phil
Fishburne.
Hartman's like
Holy
another category.
crap. Wow.
Cowboy Curtis.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Yeah, no, he started a lot of guys' careers. If there was an internet, this show would still be on. The show would have had a 20-year run.
What was the draw? Oh, they just weren't famous yet, huh?
Yeah, he had like a great network of people.
Yeah, sure.
I cannot tell you how excited I am for his new movie. Judd Apatow directed it.
Pee
Pee Wee
Herman's
Herman has a new movie coming
Yeah.
out?
Really? I didn't know that was something.
2016, new Pee Wee Herman, directed by Judd Apatow. It's gonna
I
be-
heard he said he was set up. The whole arrest thing. He claimed they had the. I heard he claimed that they said he was using, I guess it was right or left hand. And he's like, well, that doesn't make sense. I never use my right hand.
It
And
makes
was
sense
like
that he's
actual
set up.
defense.
Like, who goes into a porno theater and looks for guys whacking off? Like, obviously you're going to whack off in a porno theater.
And is Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah.
I mean,
That must be the worst job as a police officer. You're like, wait, I don't have to do traffic duty anymore? No. It's much worse. You have to find the guys whacking off in the porn theater.
Yeah.
That's like the lowest level of
that's that guy's, 4 minutes of fame.
Yeah.
Okay. No, what used to be a cop? Any good stories? Yeah, Pee Wee's Playhouse? Caught the guy whacking in a theater once. That was my thing.
When was that? I forget.
1991.
1991. Wow. And then he kind of didn't do anything for a while. Now he's in a Judd Apatow movie. Good for
Yeah, I
him,
guess
you know.
whack off in public, and you get 15 years later, you're going to be big.
Pee Wee's Big Adventure actually was a really funny movie, I thought. With pot. I don't really smoke pot, but
Jay, you want to go with the questions?
Jay's taking a pee.
Oh, Bill Cosby, actually, here in the Wikipedia, Bill Cosby defended Pee Wee Herman, saying, whatever Pee Wee's done, this is being blown out of proportion. I mean, I rape women, and no one gives a shit about that.
That guy loves raping women. Wow.
He's really into it. It's not just like a kind of a thing he did once or twice. Apparently, it was his hobby.
You know what? It's impressive how much he accomplished in that terrible field of.
And got away with it.
He got away with it.
I mean, he collected rape victims.
He
And
had, I would say, I forget the news on it, but we're talking about Bill Cosby right now.
Okay.
And how many women he has raped.
Jay, is there anything you do where you have, like, I think like 40 women have come forward. Do you
So
have 40 of
that-
anything you've collected?
That's unbelievable that he got away with it that many times.
But
Till
even
now.
that, like, it's just the fact that he was so good at this hobby. Jay, is there anything you've collected more than 40 rape victims that he's collected?
I mean,
how do you
like,
time
have
to
more-
do? How did he have time to do anything? The guy was a major movie star.
yeah, that's not
too.
like buying a DVD. Like that takes time, and that's like a full, if not a full day project, and multiple days to like plan that out, right?
His like to-do list must have been like, oh, got to prepare for my stand-up show tonight. Got to memorize my lines for being Cliff Huxtable. Oh, and find a woman to rape tonight.
Well, I mean, you also
and
gotta
I have
get
to spend the time to rape them, and then I have to worry about what happened.
Well, no. Before all that, you gotta get the drugs.
Yeah, you have to have a dealer.
So I mean, there's you gotta find a dealer. You gotta get the drugs. You gotta make sure you remember to bring that to the show. I mean, this is like
you have to compartmentalize it because now you have to live with the fact that you did that, and you're doing commercials. It's a lot.
about pudding pops.
Yeah,
Yes.
Puddin' Pops and like family comedy. He wouldn't like curse in his comedy because cursing in the comedy, that'd be wrong. Raping, totally cool.
Right.
Do you remember that whole thing about do you remember Eddie Murphy's stand-up bit where he talks about Bill Cosby calling him and telling him not to curse?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, turns out the guy telling you not to curse was completely fucked up.
Well, when what's in the Louis C.K. story comes out, that'll be a whole other thing we could break down.
What
Have
is
you
that?
heard, Peter, have you heard this?
No.
Are you a Louis C.K. fan?
Yes. What
Jay
happened?
claims to have inside info / he's heard it other places. What's the
What?
story?
There's multiple stories of him like whipping his dick out and jerking off in front of women, like in the green room of shows.
Come on.
He brought what's their names, Garfunkel and Oates, back to his hotel room and like whipped it out and just whacked off in front of them. And
What are you talking about?
How am I going to search this? Louis C.K. whips dick out?
yeah, Louis C.K. sexual
You know what?
harassment.
I just started typing that and whip it out came out. Louis C.K. put whip it out. So,
Sexual harassment. Come
Wow.
on.
Yeah, this is good. If this story,
How do you
breaks-
know this?
Jay had Louis C.K. whip it out for him. That's
Is he on the
That's
show?
Jay's claim to
he
fame.
whipped his penis out and
Will you come on Brink of Sanity? No, but I'll come on your chest.
being a gross pervert.
No, that's not the one.
Oddly enough, I'm reading Bill Cosby in this as well. He's probably like, oh, it's not that bad. Fine.
Bill Cosby's like, I mean, my only problem with is he didn't knock the woman out first. Come on, you got to be better at this, Louis C.K.
Take it from some guy who's done it for, I guess it was over the course of 20 years. I don't know.
They said it, this is from Gawker. We ran a blind item titled, "Which beloved comedian likes to force female comics to watch him jerk off?" which described an incident that had supposedly taken place in Aspen a few years ago, prior involving our nation's most hilarious stand-up comic and critically cherished sitcom actor.
The straight man, Jay McKenna.
Why can't Louis C.K. just go? Yeah, no. It was Bill Cosby. Just throw this on Bill Cosby also.
Why can't he say, I'm Louis C.K. and let's get down to business?
Right, like, well, I don't. When you're that famous, why even risk your career on a thing like that?
Why did Bill Cosby? Bill Cosby was insanely famous. He didn't have to say, "Hey, take this pill." He could have just said, "Hey, fuck me," and she probably would have just done. The girl, a lot of them probably would have just done it anyway.
Right.
That's true.
It's like they have like this like perversion to like I get off on girls watching me do this, or I get off on them being knocked out.
Yeah, very, very weird.
Yeah, the whole Bill Cosby rape Louis C.K. Is there any like is this like just a bunch of hearsay, or is there any?
I mean,
I think
just
there's
like Bill Cosby, there's a ton of hearsay.
hundreds of coincidences. It's
Yeah.
like Michael Jackson. I mean, come on.
I mean, Michael
He's
Jackson.
either a child molester or there are hundreds of coincidences.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear? There's a rabbi at Riverdale, up in New York, basically, who is taking going nude with young boys in the sauna to give them talks,
No.
and he didn't even lose his job.
Well, yeah, Jesus.
There's
This
like,
happened pretty recently.
how did he not lose his job?
And how does he have a sauna that, I guess it's in his house?
Why do you need a sauna? Well, I need a sauna in my house for bringing the naked boys.
I
Oh, perfect.
need
Makes
a
sense.
bullshit excuse to throw at someone.
I assume there was a sauna on premises. This is like a pretty it's a pretty like well-known like temple also synagogue, which does not make the Jewish people look very good. But apparently, like he claims this is like an ancient Jewish tradition to have talks while naked.
Yes, molestation is an ancient tradition.
And I don't understand how he didn't lose his job / end up in prison. But apparently, maybe they have like a monopoly get out of jail free card that we don't know that actually works. Like Bill Cosby's like, I did rape, but I have this card.
And I am Bill Cosby, so that'll last me for 15, 20 years.
You want to go to the next question, Jay?
Yeah, let's go to the next question.
I don't know. What was the first question?
The first question was HeroClix. Steven writes, Peter, do you make an effort to speak in a measured and thoughtful way?
Yes, I actually do, as I am now, because I don't like inefficiency. So I feel like if I speak clearly, I will not have to repeat myself, which I don't like doing. And I like to be clear and get my point across.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes-ish, for the most part, I do.
Could you explain that again, but in more?
More measured?
Yeah. Could you? I feel like you could have been a little. Brevity would have helped. Faster, and just think about it more first.
I might have been a little hasty in my response. So, with that in mind,
I'm going to bring it down a notch.
I will really drive my point home, which is yes. I do speak in a measured, controlled way to make sure my point is clear the first time, because I don't like to repeat it.
Peter, I don't do this. I want to ask you, what's it like to think before you talk?
I don't know if I do that. Do I think before I talk?
He spends all his effort just thinking about talking clearly, not what he's saying.
Yes, I just spent a lot of my effort not thinking I don't want to repeat what I said. Mm-hmm. And then shit just flies out of my mouth.
On a side topic right now, the Steelers are playing the Patriots. Jay, are you okay with a little bit of football talk? I know you hate baseball.
Sure.
So basically, Tom Brady's thrown 2 touchdowns in the first half and is having
good for you. I'm from Boston.
Quite an amazing start to the game, which is just and it's part of his giant go fuck yourself to Roger Goodell.
Go fuck yourself. That's what I have to say as well. You know what?
He's like, I'm going to inflate the balls any way I want, and the court said I could.
Goddamn witch hunt. Witch hunt. There
I mean, I have to say, when I heard they said the footballs were underinflated, I didn't know you weren't allowed to do that in football. I thought you kind of inflated them however you wanted and got to play with them. I didn't think like you could make them like super underinflated, but I didn't think it was such a. I didn't know this was even a league rule.
I think that probably I think that there's no way to prove it. How could you possibly prove it?
You can't.
You can't fucking prove it. So, you know what? You can't prove it.
He probably cheated though.
But people love the Patriots are the most popular guy in class, so you love to hate them. So everybody gets into a shitstorm of controversy, and
I mean, they have had 0 championships without some sort of controversy.
I mean, the whole Spygate thing, apparently there's an article on ESPN recently just came out about how they didn't just steal a couple signs, but apparently they stole all the plays from every other team and had like
I have one thing to say. I'm going to quote my Uncle Bill right now. The Patriots would have won that fucking game with a beach ball. It does not matter. They slaughtered them. They could have used a golf ball. They would have won.
Well,
an underinflated ball did not matter.
You do have a point with that one. The forward motion against Oakland for their first championship, that one's a little more questionable. The last one where they won by like 35 points, they would have won that anyway.
Right.
Greg writes, is it normal for married men to masturbate? I'll let you guys handle this one.
I'm going to go with yes. What do you say, Pete?
Sure. Why not?
Where you just, it's like, I'm married, so now I'm never horny ever.
Yeah, I think actually it would be abnormal if you didn't.
Right. Unless
do you agree or disagree?
Unless you happen to be married to like a nympho who just wants to have sex every day. Which is not realistic.
Apparently Peter is. Go on. Peter's like,
And I'm married to you.
like, when I get out of here,
Really good friend from high school. So next question.
she will jump me out before I leave this place. Go
All
on.
right, just got a little awkward here. Stephen writes, "Are you guys going to go back to pranking Nigerian scam artists?"
Yes.
Yes, we just happen to.
And how?
yes, we want to do that a lot. We just weren't able to contact any this week.
We don't know how to find. We don't know how to find the Nigerian scammers to call.
I think any scam artist would be great because the whole point
Yeah,
is
yeah.
to keep them on the phone with really dry, boring conversation with the idea that eventually there'll be a payoff. And then it ends with something like, "Oh, I hurt my foot. I have to go."
Yeah, what was that one where we had the hustlers on the phone? It wasn't Nigerian; it was American guys.
Yes.
we had them on for like 45 minutes,
Yes.
and then we got
How many times do you
upgraded.
guys do this?
5 or 6. One of them was an American guy. The rest were Nigerians. The American guys, it was like the movie Boiler Room. You ever see that?
Right. The guy was like, "What are you, pussy? Come on. You don't want to do this, you pussy?"
And we're like, yeah, we want to, we want to partner with you guys. And then we got his boss on the phone, and we tried to convince his boss that the guy we talked to for 45 minutes wanted to come in with us and partner with us and front some money. And
So eventually that probably ended up with him getting stabbed in the throat.
yeah.
But the point is, we kept him on the phone for 45 minutes.
And the episode's called Boiler Room if you want to hear it. It's one of my favorite episodes.
I once had a phone. Someone called me trying to sell me stocks, but it was like boiler room style.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, I entertained him for a little while. And I was like, oh, you know what? I have to check with my wife. And he's like, you always ask your wife before making decisions.
Yes, I've heard that too. I think
Yeah.
somebody said that to us.
You insulted my manhood. Here's $10,000.
No, I make my own decisions. Of
I'm
which
not a
you're
homo.
telling me to make.
I don't let my wife make my decisions. I let some random guy calling me make my decisions.
You make my decisions, not my wife.
If you give me a wife, I'll make a decision.
Right. Are you selling one?
So if you go to brinkofsanityshow.com, they're all on there. Greg writes, have you guys seen Pickles? Pixels.
Oh, because pickles I've seen before. I have a half sour. What are you talking about?
Have you seen that Sweet Pickles bus that used to show up in the 80s? It looks so awesome. You guys saw those commercials where the like giant like stuffed animals would run out of the bus and like hand you a book of the month?
No.
Sweet
What the hell?
Pickles bus?
Sweet pickles
No.
Never heard of
bus?
the Sweet Pickles bus? Oh my God, you guys have heard of the Sweet Pickles bus.
I
How did you
was-
grow up in the 80s and not hear of that?
I want to see it right now.
Sweet Pickles bus.
Oh, according to the internet, here it is.
Yeah. It was like the Sweet Pickles.
Can you play? I think there's going to be a song. Can you play that?
Here comes the Sweet Pickles bus.
Can
Smart
everyone
moms know how kids' minds grow upon
Yeah, a
sweet
big fucking
pickles.
goose show up
Your
and hand
child's
you a
head
little
start
bus.
for
and
school
That was a
starts with
goose?
this free
Yeah,
Sweet
the
Pickles
bus
preschool
was
bus.
books.
There are stickers,
think I
games,
had a wet dream
puzzles, and
about this
hours
once.
of fun inside. They'll make learning basic skills like numbers and letters seem like child's play to
You
your
guys have
2 to
never seen this.
6-year-old.
No.
So they'll love to learn. Honest.
I think it's excellent. Sweet pickles is great.
How have you guys never seen that?
I don't understand
I have
what's
to say,
happening here.
The 80s were a much more...
A pickle bus shows up at your house and a fucking goose jumps out and gives your kid 2 books.
Right. Well, that was the commercial. In real life, a mailman just throws a package at your face. And
So there's not a goose driving
A goose
bus
does
like
not
a
show
pickle.
up
I
to
guess
your-
that wouldn't be cost effective.
No.
Jay, could you dial a phone number for me?
Yeah, what?
Preschool program in the 80s.
1-800.
Are you trying to have me call Sweet Pickles?
It broke our response
Absolutely.
record.
I have the
Can we
number
do
here.
that? There's a number. Is it still available to call?
For-
1-800-453-7200. Sweet Pickles
Yeah.
Bus.
Let's see.
Hi,
Yeah,
I ordered
I wanna-
a series of books in 1984 and I haven't received them yet.
I'm going to see if this works.
And I'm pissed.
Wait.
Okay.
Mark, are you still there? No, Mark's on hold. Shit.
It's ringing. Wow. I'm scared.
If Sweet Pickles answers, it'd be the greatest thing. How is it ringing?
How is it ringing? No one ever disconnected the number
If they
from
don't have a voicemail?
34 years ago?
How do you have... What, they're just paying a phone bill without setting up a voicemail?
You know how much a dial tone costs these days?
Some prime real estate they're hogging up right there. Well, apparently they don't have voicemail set up.
All right.
Okay. Mark?
Yes, you put me on hold.
Oh, yeah, I couldn't call and talk to you at the same time.
How'd it
Apparently,
go? Tell me what happened.
the number
You get a
is-
pickle for yourself?
the number is active, but there's no voicemail set up and nobody answered.
Nobody's working at Sweet Pickles at 9:50.
So it just rang.
Unbelievably.
It rang 10 times, but nobody was there.
Those lazy fucking pickle pushers.
Who else can we call? Who else are we gonna call?
I'm looking up Nigerian scam phone numbers.
They just have like a phone directory. NigerianScam.com. They list themselves.
Do you want to call a Nigerian scam?
Back to Greg's question from 20 minutes ago. Have you guys seen Pixels? Not
That
ba-
movie, right?
Yeah, not bad, especially Cheap Trick's Surrender as part of the soundtrack. I gave up Adam Sandler movies about 15 years ago.
Was that an
I got
Adam Sandler
another
movie?
phone number for you.
Yeah, that's where he like battles all the 80s
Oh,
video.
right.
It was called, the original title for that movie was called Cash Grab, and they changed it to Pixels.
I remember I watched that show Grown Ups. I wanted to swallow the ass end of a Glock.
Yeah, yet they made a sequel to that
Yeah.
I don't know how he keeps getting to make movies.
because he made his own production company, so
Right.
nobody can stop him. He's now
But
an
he-
unstoppable force.
His movies are like Tyler Perry movies. They're reviewed like the Black Plague, but enough idiots watch it, so they keep making them.
Yeah,
But
And
does
they
he
make
really
a lot of money.
Does he
There's a
make
lot
money
of
with these
idiots.
movies?
yeah, he makes money.
Although I do want to have a Tyler Perry. You know what? We need to have a Tyler Perry movie marathon. Have you ever seen a Tyler Perry movie?
Never.
I have not either, but I kind of want to see one. Maybe we'll have a Tyler Perry movie marathon and then do a podcast.
I'm gonna guess the Tyler Perry movie marathon would still probably be better than the Adam Sandler movie marathon.
Maybe we could
Different.
maybe we
Very-
could each pick two terrible movies. One of them having to be Tyler Perry.
In one of them, Adam Sandler. Well, okay.
Or maybe just one Tyler Perry and one random bad movie of our choice. Well,
I want a Tyler Perry.
I'm looking at this. He hasn't made a good movie since.
It's gotta
Well,
be the 90s, right?
yeah. I mean, the list of movies he made are just unbelievably how bad. This
I think
list
if you
is.
go on Rotten Tomatoes and you look at Tyler Perry, I don't think any of his movies are above like a 15.
Right. Greg writes, how did you guys meet? Jay and
I
Mark.
assume he means Peter because he's the guest.
Well, he wrote Jay and Mark.
Oh, we met on a Nigerian love scam. They're like, "Do you want a wife or co-host for your show?"
There was an ad, and I brought him over from Siberia.
Jay sent the $9,000 and it worked out.
It's the last time I'll ever send $9,000. Now I'm stuck with Mark. That was in the contract. I have to have Mark for at least 300 episodes.
We met through Peter's wife.
That is true.
That is
That
actually
is
true.
true.
Is that true?
That is
Yeah.
true. Your wife asked both of us to join a dodgeball league.
Peter, if you don't realize, I went to school with your wife.
I know that. Yep.
Yeah. So and then she put us both part of a dodgeball league, and after that, we looked deep into each other's eyes, and we couldn't turn away.
We had our first game, and we didn't say a word to each other. And she's like, "You should have Mark on the podcast. He's super funny." And I'm like, "Really?" Like, I didn't say a word to him. He didn't strike me as like very funny. Now 500 episodes later, there you go. So it worked out eventually. It was just
There you go. I don't even remember when we. I don't remember exactly when we met. I remember you got injured and you couldn't play for a while, right?
Oh, I think that's when I injured myself during the basketball league, and I was KO'd for the dodgeball league as well.
Yeah.
That's when I didn't have health insurance, so my ankle rolled completely sideways to a 90-degree angle. I heard a popping sound, and I'm like, well, I guess I can't walk for the next year. Thanks, Obama. 5 years before you got elected.
I'm going to treat this with a Band-Aid.
Someday, Obama, you're going to get elected. I'm going to blame this rolled ankle on you.
Fucking Democrats made me play basketball.
Fucking liberal bullshit.
You know, if Republicans ran this shit, I'd be making millions and would have someone else play basketball for me.
If we weren't spending all this money on immigrant welfare, we'd have enough room for Jay's ankle.
Yeah.
Greg writes, so you guys have been to Thailand, as mentioned on the previous episode. How was your experience there? I think Greg is listening to multiple podcasts because I've never been to Thailand.
I've been to Thailand and
I've
really
been
liked
to
it.
Thailand.
Okay, so you guys have, so you guys can talk.
Yeah. Did you like Thailand?
Loved it. I was hit on by a Thai hooker with my dad, actually.
Did you guys double team her?
No, we didn't.
Ah.
I love Thailand. Absolutely love it.
Worst double team ever.
Dad, don't look at me.
I give this double team a C+.
Son,
Dad made too much eye contact. I have to take off at least the full letter grade.
Son, I'm just telling you, I know how to do it better than you. Just watch my form.
A lot of family history came up. There's a lot of telling me what to do, and I revolted.
Well, your mom liked it when I did this. Thai hooker should like that too.
Son,
I don't know why she was filming, but it was just part of the whole thing. I don't know.
Son, this is just like church teaching you to read. You were stubborn then, you're stubborn now. If you want to bring an orgasm, you really got to do it this way.
Right.
Where in Thailand did you go?
Loved Bangkok, Chiang Mai, Phuket. Loved it.
I did those three places, and I did Koh Samui also. Which is pretty
What's
cool.
that?
Koh Samui?
Where's that? Southern?
It's somewhere else in Thailand. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't fucking. Where else in Thailand?
Send me the coordinates on my iTelephone later.
I got on an airplane. I ended up somewhere else and said, "Fuck it, that's where I am now."
Billion years later. Yep.
I believe it was an island.
I definitely want
Yeah.
to check it out.
It's awesome.
I want to go to like the full moon party. Sounds awesome.
I don't know what that
I
is.
loved also buying like pad thai for a quarter on the street.
Yeah, pad thai
And it
breakfast.
was really
Yeah.
good.
Food is fucking incredible.
Every full moon, like all the coasts have this huge, like it's almost like a Thai rave. It sounds
Is that where the
awesome.
lanterns go up?
Mhm.
Oh yeah, that sounds awesome. I would like that.
What part of the year is that?
Every full moon.
Oh, every full moon? I
Yeah.
thought you meant like a once. Wow.
They party like once a month. Yeah, once a month they have like this huge party.
Wicked.
Why the fuck do we live here?
I know, exactly. They probably have better vacation days planned too.
Probably.
Steven writes, Jay, have you convinced your girlfriend to read a comic book? I got her to read the first 70 issues of The Walking Dead.
The first 70?
Yeah,
She's like that into it?
she was. You know the books I gave you? Each of those
Yeah.
have 6 issues in it.
Wait, if it was 6, then she read like.
She got up to volume 14. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And then she quit cold turkey, and something huge happens at the end of the book she was in, and she got like halfway through it, and I'm just like, for the love of God, just read like 10 more pages, and she won't, and I'm like so annoyed.
Is
But
the show good?
no.
It started off good.
The first season's good. Watch the
I
first
watched
season.
the first season. Everyone said the second season was terrible,
It
so
is.
we stopped.
It
Yeah,
is.
so it's
It
hard.
is.
It's hard to push through that.
Yeah, no,
They-
the second
they-
season's terrible.
It's a weird thing though, because the second season is terrible up until the second to last episode,
Right.
which is really good, and then the last episode's so good that you're like, "Oh shit, when's the next season going to start?" Even
Yeah.
though I felt like I was going to shoot myself during most of this season.
What about The Last Man on Earth? Has anybody seen that?
I have not seen that.
That sounds funny, but I haven't seen it.
Oh my god! It's, you know what? It's really good. It gets annoying, but the first 3 or 4 episodes, it's basically this guy's the last guy on Earth. So imagine, and the thing is, they kill it. Like all the things you would do if you're the last guy on Earth. The guy steals a tank and drives through a mall.
Mm-hmm.
He sets up all these fish bowls or like these like fish tanks in like a pyramid thing, and then bowls. Like he steals priceless art.
Mm-hmm.
He drinks like a $10,000 bottle of wine and puts Cheese Whiz in it. I mean,
This
it's-
sounds like a higher budget version of my public access show.
yes.
What's the premise behind it being the last man? Like, what kind of contrived?
Well,
premise?
here's the thing: it's riddled with problems, as far as I see, because apparently he's the last guy on Earth. So, from what I understand, the world will be riddled with decay and dead bodies. He would be wading through
Right.
dead bodies, but the world is just empty.
Maybe everyone got raptured. He was the only dick on Earth.
Maybe
The only dick on Earth would be a good premise for a show.
or the only non-dick on Earth would be a little bit better.
God's like, everyone's cool except you, dickhead. You're it. That's it.
a pretty good show. I mean, mildly annoying at times, but not bad.
And a shout out to our other frequent co-host, Bry. I've been watching Justified a little more. Justified's pretty good. Have you watched that?
Oh, we have a question about that. I have not watched it yet. I will check some out this weekend.
Peter, you watched Justified?
No. Is it the guy from
The guy from the movie Go,
Yeah, he's also from The Girl Next Door.
the drug dealer from the movie Go.
what about that show Deadwood?
I've not watched
Is he
that.
from
Is he on
I've not
Deadwood?
watched it, but my other friend is begging me to watch that.
Love
too.
it. Love it. So good. I think the lead, if it's the show I'm thinking of, the guy from Deadwood
It's
is
Timothy Olyphant.
yes, he was the lead guy on Deadwood.
Really?
Yep.
So the
Oh.
guy I thought was amazing in the movie Go, which is like one of my top 10 movies ever, has been in all these like epic shows, and I've never watched them.
That is correct. He was also in Scream.
Was he in
Two.
Scream?
Scream 2.
Yep.
Oh.
Answer
Yeah,
the
he's
question,
really good. He's
Claire.
good on Justified.
You remember that?
No.
Katie Holmes, like,
I don't think I've seen Go.
you haven't? Oh, we gotta watch it. All right.
Go's really good.
Go is so good. All right. Steven writes, Jay, what is your favorite X-Men story arc? Give a brief explanation if you want to put. Yeah, we'll talk about this on Monday because we have a comic book guy on Monday. Steven writes, how many fights have you guys been in?
Okay.
I got in one fight in 4th grade.
Fist fight, like a physical fight.
Yeah.
No. Just a fight of words.
Verbal arguments.
Yeah,
Maybe
a
a
billion.
7 hour.
We live in New York.
A
One a
poetry
day.
slam.
One, actually.
Was it with a 94-year-old woman who didn't pay the rent?
Yes.
Were you an adult?
Yes. Somebody pissed me off and I stabbed him in the throat.
I'm going to assume
For
that's
real?
real and not go on. What, have you been in an adult
There's
fight?
my deadpan delivery.
As I roll my chair slightly to the left.
Would it be really weird if he was just totally serious and he's like, no, they said it was self-defense, but it wasn't.
But I was
Statute of
just really
limitations, man.
angry. I mean, is it wrong if you stab someone if you're pissed? I don't think so. I don't know what you can do.
Crime of passion.
I think everyone gets one free stab.
Yep.
Like The Purge. Have you guys seen that movie?
I watched it for the first time about a month ago. I loved it.
Yeah, good.
Loved it.
Basically, one day on Earth, you can do whatever you want.
Have you seen that, Mark?
Yeah, I've seen it, and you know what the best part of that movie is at the next debate, Donald Trump is going to propose that, and he's going to get more popular.
He'll get elected and he'll enact it.
He'll be like, we're going to have one day we could beat the crap out of everyone, just break all laws. And Republicans will be like, still better than Jeb Bush.
Trump will be like, let me tell you something. I'm elected president one day a year. We fuck up all the Mexicans.
If you want to shoot a Mexican, July 8th every year, you can shoot a Mexican. Just saying, they're all rapists and they all deserve to be shot. Elect me president.
Bam, 60% in the polls.
Right. Yay, he said something and meant it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what it was, but he meant it. We need that strong leadership.
Ted Cruz is sitting there. I was going to propose the real purge. Fuck it. I can't believe I didn't do it first.
Steven writes, this one's for Jay. Your favorite porn star wants to have sex with you, but only if there's another guy involved. No gay shit, but you'd both be banging her at the same time. Do you accept or do you decline? I have a 1 penis per room rule. That would break the rule, so no.
What if there's no other guy in the room, but the porn star you're banging also has a small penis?
What if they're
That
hermaphrodite?
breaks my 1 penis per room rule.
What if there is a transsexual in the room after surgery?
What if Caitlyn Jenner wants to watch it?
Caitlyn Jenner wants to watch, but she's just going to not be in the way. She's going
Caitlyn
to
Jenner
hang
has
out
a
and.
penis, though.
But
It's in
I'm
the room.
saying after a surgery, if she decides to have one.
Listen,
Her
Caitlyn Jenner
choice.
is going to watch and maybe jack off to you doing this, but afterward, you can ask her any question about being a decathlete.
And you can.
Wait, so you're saying there's a post-op tranny in the room just lurking in the corner?
Which may or may not be Caitlyn Jenner. Yes.
No, she's making
Does it help if it's Caitlyn Jenner because you've heard of her?
No, I think that hurts if it's Caitlyn
All
Jenner.
right, because you're gonna get publicity.
Because if
for
it's
it.
Caitlyn Jenner, there's probably going to be paparazzi taking
Yeah,
secret
that's
spy
true.
shots through the window.
Okay, the post
could help the
tranny is
podcast,
making
though.
sandwiches.
That
Do you
is
think
true.
Do you think she's gonna be hungry afterwards?
Brink of Sanity podcast has threesome with tranny post-op Caitlyn Jenner. That would be good for the podcast.
So
Peter,
what
Peter,
if?
hang on, do you know that Brink Sanity, as in Jay, is running for president? He's on the ballot. I'm not making shit up.
This is a true thing.
You're on the ballot.
I'm on the official presidential ballot.
You don't listen to the show, do
What
you?
is your campaign?
Look, this is the official Federal Election Commission, Mr. Brink Sanity. I'm on.
Jay,
you
if
can vote for
elected,
me.
will you fuck
Have you gotten any votes?
Caitlyn Jenner?
Well, I mean, it's the vote for president, so I can't get any votes yet.
Well, you're right. You're Brink Sanity. You're right above Richard Santorum.
That's right. Yeah.
Who has 662,000 more votes?
No,
than
no,
you.
no. This isn't votes. This is donations to
Oh,
his
receipts.
campaign.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, we
Nobody's
gotta
got
get
any
donations.
votes yet. You can't vote yet.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know how I'm
Well,
polling. I don't think I'm polling very high.
Will you, as president,
Your candidate
will you
office
fuck
state is the
post-op?
U.S. Well, that's correct.
I'm running as a Republican because I figure Republicans automatically vote for Republicans, but I'm going to have a Democratic platform, so I'll get the Democratic vote. So I figure I'll pull it like
Well, you got it
80%.
all planned out.
I got everything.
Okay.
Yeah. Apparently, the National Federal Election Commission does not check their paperwork very closely because I ran as Mr. Brink Sanity.
You're not an incumbent.
Nope. This is legit. You could literally.
No,
vote for me.
I'm looking at it right now,
Yep. So
and I see your logos in the top right of the window.
it sure is.
Is
Wicked.
it going to be really weird that when we got donations for the Brink show for this like video stuff, like the Federal Election Committee contacts you and is like, were these inappropriately donated? Like you're supposed to use it like the federal way? You violate some like election law?
We gotta just get arrested.
Or maybe is that? You know what I just heard of? Like that whole Kickstarter. You know, people who I just sort of heard of this. People want to go on a trip. This isn't Kickstarter really, but I don't know what it's called. But a
Kinda
few people on
crowdfunding.
Facebook have dabbled in it. I want to go on a trip. Fund me.
GoFundMe.com. Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
You know what is that? You know what it's called? Earn money, and like, why
Yeah.
am I paying for you to do something that I
The
would
sad
want
thing is, some of them get it too.
They do. Go fund me. Why do I care if you bike around Europe?
I don't know.
Do you know anyone that's done this, or just like you've?
No, it's like a friend of a friend of a friend on Facebook did it, and I'm looking at it like trying to figure it out. Like, so you have the nerve to ask people to give you money so that you can do a trip somewhere.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I heard this friend of a friend on Facebook. Their son has cancer, and they keep asking for money for this. It's like, what dicks?
That yeah, okay.
God, I mean, stop telling about the tumor. Fuck.
It would be a total fuck you if you gave to the trip through Europe in front of it. But
Somehow you like post to their page that you're donating to the trip through Europe. You're like, I don't know, Bobby and Sue seemed like they need a trip to Europe. When your son, like, I mean, look at him. Like, does he really need to, like, they already got enough money for your tumor.
is there a GoFundMe? Can you do a Google? Can you do a search on Facebook for GoFundMe?
Yeah.
All right, let's see what comes up.
1 second.
You can also just do a GoFundMe vacation.
Sorry, 1 second. I'm just getting the live room back on track.
Okay, here we go. Vacation for me and Diana. Seaside, California, $2,000. Hey, good morning. We just wanted to let you know that we have almost reached our goal. Let's find the beginning one. We're trying to raise enough money to maybe possibly go on this youth trip for CL, but I'm not sure what CL, but I'm still not sure if we can go. No, they raised $2,000. Well, this is like look at their kids, so not as bad.
With their kids, who gives a shit? Doesn't matter
like-
who it is. Like, that doesn't matter.
It's like those
They're
guys on the
basically
subway-
somebody's funding their family vacation.
It's like those kids that sell candy on the subway, and they're like, "I'm trying to go with my high school class to Italy."
No,
Could you
you're
pay
right.
it-
Could you donate to our basketball team? Yeah, that happens all the time. If I want an M&M, I'll do it, but otherwise,
Oh yeah, I mean obviously.
what are you doing? This is the part that I never. Oh, you're going on GoFundMe. All right, you have $29,000.
What's this one?
This is a controversy.
Fuente's family fundraiser for 3 kids. Oh, okay. Well,
Oh,
they
don't
were,
stop reading.
Yeah.
Stop. No.
Wait,
Another
what?
one.
there's 3 kids who were
On
Fuentes.
his.
Could you mumble more and read to yourself on the show?
Well, I mean, it was like
Big,
it was a picture of 3
Next.
kids, and they're like, "Give money because the 3 kids are dead." I'm like, okay, well,
yeah. Fine.
Let's make fun of people who have dead kids.
this one is like, this guy is gay. Give me money. $37,000.
He's also wearing what looks to be a pretty expensive tuxedo.
on his own because he's gay. $37,000.
Wait, but legitimately, they didn't just say, Bill's gay, send him on vacation.
No, it says, I need help with my friend, a 17-year-old.
Who was a rising star. Why is he a rising star? I have to pee.
I don't know. It says he's, yeah, I don't know. It's a college kid who's gay, so he wants money, and they gave him $37,000.
I'm pretty sure there's more to that story, or else, fine, I'll be a college gay
It's
kid.
about 7,000 words long, so I'm not going to go through all of it.
You're terrible at finding good GoFundMe stories.
On the spot with no notice, yes.
Why you want to just read the next question? I'm sure Peter will be okay.
Yeah. We'll go to the next question. It says, oh, great, Steven, thank you. Is the MLB's competitive balance tax bullshit?
I think it's bullshit. I agree with you.
Is,
Do you want me to answer and go more in depth about that? What do you think? So,
sure.
let me just ask you. What do you think is? What do you prefer? The NBA, where it has a cap, but everyone just goes above and above with all the billion exceptions, or Major League Baseball just says spend whatever you fucking please?
NBA, definitely. Not even close.
Why?
Well,
It kind of screws the Knicks.
baseball, you have like one team with 200 million and another team with 40 million. Basketball is still lopsided, but not like that. At
But
least
the
basketball,
team-
you have a minimum.
The team you root for would spend $200 million, so it would work out well in your favor.
I still don't like it. I'd rather everybody just have even.
I'd go with the hard cap the NFL has. I think that's the best one.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah.
All right. Is Mark's father the reason he's a racist?
Yes, my dad used to tell me that son, grow up and be a good man and treat the Negroes poorly.
Is your son into dinosaurs?
No, not really. He's into superheroes. Is it weird? So my mom was she was a math teacher in the city, in the Bronx, and she had like she wasn't racist, but used to use a Yiddish word for calling black people. She called them, and this is gonna make my family sound terrible. I'm surprised I'm making this in the show. She used to refer to them as svatzas. It was. Have you guys heard this term before?
No.
It's a Yiddish term for black people. I'm not sure if it was meant to be a put down, but it's probably not like a pot. Like the most popular.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not. Yiddish for awesome.
Yeah. So but she would be like,
Maybe it is your mode.
this. She was a math teacher. The kids in the class really liked her a lot. Apparently, she was a well liked teacher. But she referred to she'd be like, oh, and we have this one really really sweet Svatsa in my class. He's such a great. And I'm like, do you really want to use that term when you talk about like the sweet kid in your class?
This isn't going to help all the Mark racist questions.
It's not going to help at all.
I have to go to the bathroom. Do you want another one?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Somebody writes, have you seen Ex Machina? What do you think of it? Fucking awesome. I love that movie. Did you see that?
No, that's I saw the commercials. That's like the robot that comes to life, but it's
Yeah.
a female robot.
Yes. And you
What
go
happens?
back and forth from thinking it's creepy to attractive. it's weird. It's a really well done movie. I liked it quite a bit.
What's the premise for people that don't know the movie? What happens?
Well, basically, it's sort of, I'm not going to give too much away, but basically, this guy is invited to this crazy mansion out in the Pacific Northwest, and he's part of an experiment, and there is a woman there who is a robot, and she's very clearly a robot, and it's basically, can you form a... I was also kind of tired when I put it on, but can you formulate some sort of a relationship with this thing, and sort of can you get through to them? I thought it was awesome. Have you seen Ex Machina?
I thought it was really good, and it also had two of the hottest actresses I've seen in a long time, both fully naked.
And a robot.
Yes, and a robot. Like
Right.
Yeah.
That was kind of the point.
Naked robots. Sign me up.
It was basically they had like a metal spine, and I thought it was really interesting. I thought it, I thought the movie kind of killed it.
I am going on Can I Stream It right now and trying to find out if I can watch this anywhere.
You probably can. I mean, I saw it like a month and a half ago from home. You know what I'm kind of curious about is have you seen the new Poltergeist movie? I'm sure it sucks, but
Oh no, I did not see that. It looks like you can rent the movie right now. The Ex Machina. Obviously, you can rent this if you watch
can rent. Yeah, you can rent it. It's definitely on demand.
I was just hoping that would be on like streaming on Netflix for free, but no.
Do you want sticky rice and grilled pork?
What's that?
Do you want sticky rice and grilled pork?
Oh, I'm full, but yes. Hey, how's it going?
He's full, but maybe after
Full,
the
but
show.
maybe a little. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. So we finished with Ex Machina?
I will see. I'm convinced to go see it.
Yeah, you should.
My vote is see it.
Yeah. When was the last time each of you smoked weed? Do we not want to talk about that?
Oh, I don't give a shit. March.
I was a billion years. I don't really smoke pot.
Yeah, I would say a couple years ago, and it turned into an anxiety attack. I try every couple of years, and every couple of years it turns into an anxiety
Right.
attack.
I've either smoked, laughed my ass off, or I've been sort of cowering a corner, afraid of a shadow.
It was awesome for years and years, and now
Yeah.
it's just like instant anxiety attack.
Yeah, it was fun in college, but yeah, no, I would say several years.
Mm-hmm.
I last time was in March. I kind of I won't do it around my kids, but if I'm not around my kids, I much prefer it to alcohol.
When it didn't give me anxiety attacks, yes, it was awesome.
Yeah, it's really fun. I mean, it's not a social drug though for me. For me, it's like smoke weed and like just eat food and watch TV, and I have a great time.
For me, it was like smoke and have 3 people over, and then play Smash Brothers for like 5 hours.
For
So,
me,
and
it was
without the
smoke
weed-
and watch Waiting for Guffman or Pee-wee's Big Adventure or any like comedy thing that I found funny at the time and laughed myself stupid.
Mm-hmm. I noticed I like Aqua Teen and Hunger Force a lot less now that I don't smoke.
Yeah, I'm sure.
A lot less. Yeah.
It's probably seems less desperate in trying.
Yes.
What's the ghost? The ghost that used to do interviews. Ghost.
Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Space-
That's still funny.
That I remember seeing for the first time really, really high, and I thought it was the craziest thing ever.
Yeah, I like lost my mind the first time I saw that. Yeah.
Would you, Peter? Even though you're not that into weed, would you smoke? Would you basically smoke a bunch of weed or a bunch of blunts with the 94-year-old woman?
If she,
She
what,
initiates.
try
She wants
anything
to.
once. If she wanted to smoke pot, if she said, "I would like to smoke pot with you," then I would do it. I wouldn't do it just to
No,
do it,
she-
but if
she
it was
initiates.
her
She's like,
idea,
"Oh,
and
I
she's
want
like,
to
"You know
smoke
what? I'm 95. I've never smoked pot. I have a trust thing with you. I would like to smoke pot with you." I'd absolutely do it.
What if the exact same thing, but cocaine?
Wow, I've never done cocaine.
And a 94-year-old woman, this is like my dying wish. I want to
Yes,
do
I
cocaine
would.
with you.
But if her dying wish was to do cocaine with me, I would do it.
Okay, now what her dying wish is to watch you with a tranny.
Was to watch me with a tranny. then I would start to question her motives because that doesn't benefit her at all.
She's just like, I am just a mean old lady.
Right. Now I'm just being vindictive, and I've been nothing but nice to her, so she's starting to lose me on that.
Listen. Your fake leg is in my ass, and I was cool with that, but now you're crossing the line.
Okay, Gilliam
No.
writes. Gilliam writes, comments on this video, and it is a female. I'll play the first 30 seconds, as I can't get past it.
Got my Kesha hair today. You don't know if this is hairspray or semen. Dear fat people. Some people are already really mad at this video. What are you gonna do, fat people? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna chase me? Really? You gonna chase me? It's gonna be like fucking Frankenstein.
So basically, it's just a girl trying to be edgy, making fun of fat people, and I noticed she disabled her comments and the thumbs up, thumbs down option because everyone hates her.
How did she think of the original jokes about fat people?
All her videos are like this, too. I looked at her other videos. She has one where she says the word retarded. And she's like, oh, my God, people are going to get mad because I said retarded. I'm like, you're trying so hard to rile people up, but you're so not fucking funny.
Yeah,
Why-
You know what?
why do
you
people-
have to, if you're going to be, I can deal with a lot. I don't really take, I get offended by nothing. Absolutely nothing offends me because it bounces off me. Unless you're somebody that I love and you're saying something, I don't really give a shit what anyone says. I think people get panties in a notch and it doesn't matter. Just relax. People are going to say what they say. Unless it individually affects you, gives a fuck.
Peter,
But
would you say you're kind of like rubber and I'm glue?
I would absolutely say that. I would say shit, but I do not care. I don't care what you say. I've never been offended by someone I don't know, ever, once in my life. But I have one rule. If you are going to go that angle, you're going to be really offensive, you have to at least be funny.
Exactly.
That's the price of admission. If you're going to pick on a group of people, the price of admission is be funny.
Same here. I mean, I've heard, Irish jokes, fat jokes, whatever, anything that might relate to me. It doesn't offend me, but be funny.
Be funny.
Don't just say,
The one
I
rule.
said retarded, you guys are going to get mad now because I'm so edgy. No, you're a stupid bitch who's not funny.
Right.
I don't understand though. How did this? She made these comments. Whatever. Why are people watching the video?
Thank you. She has 100,000 views, too. Thank you.
Like, how did she get the 100,000? Like, why can't we be edgy like this and tell terrible fat jokes?
I don't know. I feel like we've said way worse stuff, and also have been funny during it. Yet we don't go. I don't know how to go viral.
Yeah. Why is she a marketing genius and we're idiots?
We can't go viral. I'm fucking running for president and nobody's paying attention. we can't do it.
Why
we
don't
need a
we
hook.
Just, like,
What is the hook?
I thought the Nigerian scams would be something. I don't know.
Jay, do you want me to make a video where you make fun of Puerto Ricans and see how it goes?
Just me, right?
Just you. I'm not gonna get on video.
Should I give out my address too? It's the only thing to get murdered.
I'm disassociating. I'm gonna leave the show at that point. I'm gonna delete all the episodes I'm involved in.
I'll do another one where I make fun of the Crips and Bloods. I'll do another one where I make fun of Al Qaeda.
Or the Greeks and the Chinese.
Yeah, anybody who's violent.
in a story. There you go.
But we'll just do a series. Jay makes fun of Violent Group X this week. And we'll see how long it
The
takes.
series entitled.
And
How Much
incidentally,
Longer Will Jay
here's
Live?
my address.
Yeah. JayStartsAtJihad.com. Harry writes, does Jay hate fat people? How did Jay lose weight? I don't hate fat people. I lost weight by not overeating for every single meal and not snacking less and not eating as late at night.
I thought you lost weight by joining a gym that gives out pizza and bagels.
I did that too, and I also have had an anxiety attack every day for a year straight. You burn a lot of calories during a good anxiety
Yeah,
attack.
I was like, do you think the anxiety attacks are they helpful for burning weight calories?
Yeah, I haven't lost much weight since I stopped having anxiety attacks.
Anything you do to bring those back.
Yeah, exactly.
Then you can eat whatever you
They're
want.
starting to creep up again, so we'll see.
Jay, do you hate fat people? Come on, answer the question.
No.
Is there any type of people you do hate?
I do hate ignorant people that that refuse to acknowledge when they have been proven wrong. Basically, everyone on InfoWars, like they had they had an anti-global warming article today, and they were saying like global warming is a scam. So I posted a link to how we had the hottest July in recorded history, followed by the third hottest August in recorded history, followed by the hottest September in recorded history so far, and they're just like, no, you're fucking wrong and you're stupid.
You know what?
And I'm like, all right, I hate you.
It turns it. I'm gonna give probably one of the best movies any human being can ever watch. It's a movie called Merchants of Doubt. What this movie does is it talks about it sort of. The movie is narrated by a magician, and the magician knows all of the tricks that deceive people. And he talks about things like the tobacco industry and global warming, and he talks about all of the things he uses in magic to deceive people are used by corporations and politicians to fuck people over. It's the same formula. It's so good. Merchants of Doubt. You can rent it now. It's unbelievably good and infuriating.
And if you want to know if you could stream it, you can't, because I've already Googled that. But you can rent it. It's on Amazon or Apple or anywhere else you rent movies.
All right. Harry writes, have we tried to go vegan?
Too hard.
No, absolutely. I would never go vegan.
No.
Absolutely not.
Let me answer your question, Harry.
Why?
Yeah,
why?
just eat
Why
some
would you
pork.
want to go vegan?
I have no idea. My friend went vegan, and then he got so sickly, the doctor ordered him to start eating meat. True story.
And you're a pain in the ass. You can't go out. You can't have anything.
Yeah.
It's...
I have a cousin who's now eats meat, but at one point in her life she was a vegan. But she'd come over and she'd be like, she'd bring her own food. She'd be like, yeah, I know this is completely an asshole thing. Like I'm really annoying, so I just bring my own food to like not drive everyone crazy. And I feel like that's if you're a vegan, you can't go to any kind of party where they have food and like be annoyed at them. You have to bring your own food everywhere you go, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Then you're that person.
Which is better than the person that's like, oh, you're having burgers at your, you're gonna have meat at your barbecue.
Which reminds me of Lisa the Vegetarian episode of The Simpsons.
Yeah, the Lisa the Vegetarian.
So good.
You can't win friends with salad. Considering Mark's wife is an attractive blonde woman with a nice booty, I assume she gets a lot of attention from black men. Let's not kid ourselves, Mark. What would you do if you found out your wife was cheating on you? Don't act like this can't happen, because we know if you ain't giving her good sex, she is getting or thinking about getting it somewhere else. And would you forgive here? Or is that enough for you to break up? With how serious would you take a infidelity in your marriage?
Are you a black man trying to steal my wife? That's my counter question to you.
Have you guys watched Narcos on Netflix? It's pretty good.
A bunch of people have told me that's really good recently. I know it just came out, so that's probably why everyone's talking about it. But I don't know. Have you guys heard anything about it?
Never even heard of it.
Never heard of it.
There's a huge advertisement for it above Penn Station, so I see it every day. But a couple people have told me they really, really like it, and they like binge watched it.
Never heard of it.
It's new to Netflix, and according to Netflix, it gets a 9.2.
Should I invest in Netflix stock? I think in 10 years, Netflix will wipe out Amazon Prime, HBO,
No.
Showtime, and so on.
I don't think you should invest in anything yet. I think what's happening right now is all the major networks, everybody's on hold trying to figure out what is the future of movies and how you're going to download it. Because right now it's an inefficient shit show. Because all the different labels and all the different studios, nobody's committing to anything because nothing is there yet. So basically, no. It's kind of like investing in VHS. It's, as we know it, 5 years from now, it's going to be completely different. Netflix will probably be gone. I mean, I think they have a Band-Aid on them. Like, basically, they're coming up with the shows. So when the studios that create the shows don't need to be Netflix, it's all going to go somewhere.
Although I did read that 37% of all bandwidth after work goes to Netflix, and Amazon Prime gets like 1.5%.
But there's going to be something else.
There'll be something else. I mean, I stopped Netflix because I was sick of their... I was watching like 7 shows at the time, and they carried like 1.
The,
Yeah,
as
Netflix
someone
is
who actually
annoying.
has
You know what?
both-
Orange is the New Black kept that. Orange is the New Black is the Band-Aid. That show, I watch it. Yeah, you know what? It's the acting is like a high school play, but it's entertaining enough.
Everyone tells me like Netflix is awesome if you watch what they provide. I'm like, but I want to watch like what I want to watch, not what they tell me to watch.
I've
it's-
been a member of Netflix for 8 or 9 years. I would say I have not gotten my money's worth, but it's like $8 a month, or I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just too lazy.
So they have
Don't
not the worst
invest
model.
in it.
They don't have the worst model in the sense of like you've had it for 8 or 9 years, and we all are using Netflix basically. This Narcos show is here's a question for you. So Narcos, apparently a lot of it's in subtitled, a lot of it's in Spanish. Would you not watch a show because it's in subtitles?
No, I would. I actually accidentally downloaded the first 2 episodes of Mr. Robot in subtitles, and I watched. The first
Good
2.
for you.
Have you seen that show? Oh, you gotta watch it. So good.
Also I have Netflix and Amazon Prime. The one cool thing Amazon Prime just did is that you could download the movies and the shows now instead of like having to like stream them. So I can download them on my phone and then watch them on like my train ride to work.
That's decent.
Yeah, so that's how I'm watching Justified. I'm like, now I'm commuting to the city. I'm like, in the morning I watch an episode. At night I'm on the way home I watch an episode.
How do I access? William writes, how do I access the dark internet so I can watch like illegal crazy stuff?
Wow, you're asking the right 3 people.
Peter, how often are you on the dark internet?
Have you even heard about the dark internet?
No, I don't even know what it is.
It's this like subsection of the internet where you have to get like these things that hide your IP address, and so you can like secretly browse without anybody being able to tell where you're going.
So is it something like child pornography? Or
Yeah.
what?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's huge. That's
right.
huge there. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like
No,
snuff
it's actually
videos.
just ESPN's sister site. They just do like sports you're not as interested into. And it's just like a total the website that shouldn't be there for no reason. I think what it is that the websites aren't captured by like Google or like indexing services. So unless you know where you're going, you can't find them. And a lot of them are like protected by passwords, I think.
Rosera writes, Jay and Mark, should I join the Navy, Army, or Air Force? I'm 22 years old. I don't know. Air Force seems like the less likely one to get killed. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you want to join the one where you have the least chance of getting killed.
Do you have to join any of them? I go Navy.
Yeah, I would say you should just not join any.
Explore options.
Yeah.
Would you guys ever join, like, if you had to do it over again, would you ever join the Army, Navy, whatever?
Never.
No.
Never.
I find it admirable, but I would never do it. Like my dad was, because all of a sudden you're sort of like you're living your life and you're uprooted. Oh no, go here, do that. We're gonna yell at you for 6 weeks for basic training, and then you're gonna go there and do that, and then you're gonna thrown into a field. You probably get killed. You know what? I mean,
It seems like everything I hate, like early mornings, being super neat, not having any fun, being clean shaven, like
being told what to do all the time.
yeah. I mean, it seems like pretty much everything that sucks.
Fighting random wars.
Yeah. Being violent for like so other rich people could get richer. Sounds pretty terrible. I would say-
Pretending to go to war so you can get something besides oil.
Right. But in reality, it's just oil. Yeah. We have one email. Lorenzo writes, what is your position on vaccines? Are you pro-vax or anti-vax? We used to be like the majority of the population of vaccinated regularly, but then last year, my father-in-law passed away from complications due to the flu shot, and that changed everything. So now we have a 5-month-old who has had no shots at all, and a 4-year-old who is half vaccinated. My wife and in-laws are now rabid anti-vaxxers, and I will try to cram as much info as possible down everyone's throats. I am sitting on the fence, however, as I can see arguments for both sides. The Australian government is looking to introduce law that if your kids aren't vaccinated up to their schedule, then you don't receive any welfare payments. That is pretty messed up. But we'll just take it to the hip. We will just take the hit to the hip pocket. I am interested to hear each of you views. Mark because he has kids, and Jay because of interest in conspiracies.
Yeah, I feel like this is a pretty interesting topic, especially if it hits home with him.
Yeah.
I assume though, when they give you the flu vaccination, they give you the flu, some form of it. I don't know what happened with he said his grandfather died.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but I imagine it being when you're older like that. I can see. I mean, that sucks basically. But I think generally the science completely says they work. I mean, not completely, but I think the science in general points that you should do them. If you don't do them, you're basically going to introduce a lot of things that have been killed off now are going to be back in society.
You got your daughter vaccinated fully, right?
Yes, for everything. I you know what? With everything, there's going to be exceptions, but I would basically, it's a numbers game. Do your research and find out. I mean, I think you have to vaccinate. You have to do it because, basically there's going to be certain situations that don't work out, but overall, you have a better chance. Your chances are better at health in your family if you vaccinate. That's the research that I've come across, and I would do your own research, but I would say absolutely vaccinate, yes.
The thing is, you say do your own research, but usually do your own research just means Googling it and either just believing the people who, the conspiracy theorists or the non-conspiracy theorists.
Yeah,
it's
you
not
know what? You're absolutely right. The Googling stuff is like the rabbit hole.
But
it really is.
How do you do your own research? It's not like,
right.
You know what? I'm going to run a clinical trial and find out what happens, and then I'll decide.
Usually there'll be one side that has actual facts backing it and one that doesn't.
But you're right. There's always, the internet, there's always somebody. You could basically find somebody who says the sun is made of marbles, and you know what? They have a whole website for it.
Right, or somebody who took one Tylenol and had a seizure and died.
Right, so they're anti-Tylenol.
Yeah.
But
I will say this, though. My buddy just had a baby, and he said they asked him for one shot, and he looked it up, and it had 3 times the safe limit of mercury. And he says, well, I don't think this is necessary. I don't want it. And the doctor said, you're right, it's not necessary. So I think sometimes they push shots on you because they get money, and if you question it, they brush it off really quick.
Well, that's really a kind of a creepy scenario.
It is.
Maybe I should have asked my doctor, are these shots necessary for my kid? And he would have said, no, not at all, actually. We're just trying to affect it with mercury.
That's what he said. He said he questioned every shot, and I don't know, say there's 7, 1 or 2 were completely unnecessary and potentially dangerous. So he didn't get those for his daughter.
I got screened for skin cancer, and as you know, and he was like, "Oh yeah, that might be something. Go get that checked out." Because he was friends with the twat who would basically remove stuff from your body. Mm-hmm. So basically, I went and I had something removed from me that he said potentially was skin cancer, and then we did reviews on this doctor, and everybody said I was sent here, and it was basically a scam.
Mm-hmm. He just cuts shit out and gets a lot of money.
Right. He gets money for taking away a mole and calls it what.
I once had a physical where the guy said, there's something I see in your heart and your heart, whatever, monitor that doesn't, I think you should get this just checked out. And I'm like, well, what do you see? And he's like, I just see something. I'm not going to sign off of it until you just go see this other doctor. And so I went to see the other doctor, whole heart workup. I'm sure basically I just bought the guy's his daughter a year at college, and after they're like, "Oh, you're totally fine."
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, what was something the guy saw?" He's like, "I don't know."
It's hard to trust. You got to find a good doctor. There's a lot of scam doctors, just like there's a lot of scam
car mechanics. It's anyone, but the prices are higher.
Yeah,
or the stakes are higher.
Like, I don't know, your engine sounds a little crazy. Well, let me replace this part that's totally unnecessary.
The problem also is if you go look at the research, say on the vaccinations, there is like, let's say you say I'm going to go just the medical science part of it. And it sounds okay. Medical science supports this. I should get them. But then you start reading the anti-vaccinations, and even if you think they're based in not medical fact, they make enough logical arguments that you could almost go, oh, well, a lot of this actually makes sense.
Yeah.
In the same scenario, so one issue I have now. So we moved to Port Washington, which is in Long Island, and the one weird thing about Port Washington is there's no fluoride in the water. I don't know if you guys grew up. You had fluoride in the water.
Maybe.
I know that Manhattan and Brooklyn has a lot of fluoride in the water, which is good, and a lot of other places don't. Is that correct?
Most places I think have it, but still some places don't.
Yes.
It's generally good for your teeth. Like our dentist was like, she's like, I don't know why they don't have it in Port Washington. It's weird they don't have it here. There's probably some lunatics, like crazy people who like prevent this from happening, and you have enough crazy people who keep preventing it from happening. But it kind of hurts your kid's teeth for not having it.
Yeah, I've heard that.
See, my dentist said it's good, but only in small doses. Like, she said I should have fluoride mouthwash, but only twice a week, and use the non-fluoridated the other 5 days.
Because fluoride actually, in a certain high enough quantity,
Pretty
is poison.
complicated for a dentist request.
Yeah.
What?
She's like, and also when you brush every 17 hours exactly.
yeah, exactly.
But it's like a weird scenario because I'm like, my kids should have fluoride, and I said apparently there are these fluoride drops, but she said the fluoride drops don't really work. The water has to like hit your kid's teeth, so you actually need the water. And I'm like, wow, I love this town, except for the one thing about apparently some conspiracy theorists run the town. And so I went online. I was like, hey, I'll buy water that has fluoride in it already. And that way my kids will drink that. I'm sure they have bottled water with fluoride. And first of all, I can't find it anywhere. A lot of things say they sell it, but then they don't really sell it. Like Deer Park says they sell it, but then you try to buy it and they don't have it in our area.
You know what's funny though? Like my parents, like with my kid, they'll be like, you know what? When we had you, my mom was painting my crib like as I was sleeping in it, and like people smoked cigarettes, and people did all this shit. My mom's like, you know what? We used to like 5 beers when you were a year old, like you know what? And everyone lived.
Mm-hmm.
We used to feed you lead paint, and look, you're smart.
Right? We used to put lead paint on your eyelids. Asbestos. You used to snort asbestos because we thought it was funny.
Yeah, we would just paint you in lead paint because it looked hilarious.
Because everyone liked to see you painted yellow.
Yeah.
So we did it.
So also, when you try to buy, look to buy fluoride water, almost every hit you get from Google is just a conspiracy theory about fluoride being part of like the mind control of that. This is how we they control the people using fluoride in the water, and they make all these arguments where I could see you going down the rabbit hole of like, I don't believe in 9/11, Jay, and I believe fluoride controls the people.
I don't believe in
9/11. Specifically written to Jay.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I could totally.
You had your
see-
whole conspiracy theory about that, right?
I do. I still
Yes.
do. I'm still not convinced.
I half believe it. Half. I think it has some validity to what you're saying.
Good.
the fluoride or 9/11.
William
The,
writes.
Not to go into 9/11. Let's leave 9/11 for another time.
Yeah, we shouldn't do that like every other episode.
No, I don't really mean to go down there. But well, Jay, first, do you believe fluoride in the water is a conspiracy or do you believe it's there to help your teeth?
Do I think they're adding it?
Well, they're adding it to the water. Do you think they add it just to help people's teeth, or they're adding it because they're trying to this is part of a
Oh
government?
no, they're adding it. They're clearly adding it to make the population retarded, so they could exhibit mind control on the general mass population.
This could totally be on Infowars. They would.
It was.
totally-
No, I'm not even joking. That was an article on Infowars.
So
In fact, if I say something too liberal, the main comment is you have been drinking too much fluoride. I'm not even joking. There's this conspiracy website, Infowars, and we have a bit now that I name an article, and Mark tries to come up with a crazy comment, and I read a real comment and it's crazier than his made up comment.
The best example, and this is the great example of all, is so I can use it for pretty much any of these incidents. You know, there's obviously all these mass shootings, and so one of the mass shootings, you mentioned the mass shooting, and try to come up with a crazy scenario for the mass shooting conspiracy.
What do you mean? The mass shooting, like in this?
The most recent one.
Pick one, like
do
UVA.
the one where the guy dressed up as Joker and shot up the movie theater.
Yeah, pick that one. Okay.
So I am trying to come up with a headline of a different shooting.
No, I'm
Okay.
trying to come up
Do
with a
the-
conspiracy about that shooting.
Why a guy dressed up as a Joker shot in a movie theater?
Something like a conspiracy, like someone that's
So
someone.
why he did that? All right. Let me see. The pressure's on. All right.
You won't win, so don't worry.
He went to see the original Batman, and he remembers paying in 1989 for the original Batman. He remembers paying $6 to see that movie, and when
Which is high back
the
then.
newest movie came out, he paid 2.5 times that. He got really pissed off at the price increase, and he took it out on the other moviegoers.
Sounds
That's
good.
all
So
I got.
Here's the response they give. It's a hoax. It didn't actually happen. And that's the response to every shooting: is they're not actually happening. There's no evidence they actually happen. It's just the gun people trying to get rid of the guns.
But you didn't say why it's a hoax.
Why?
It's a hoax because the government wants to take all the guns from the true patriots so that
the Queen of England can't come over and shoot you in the face.
Nope, it gets worse. So that the
Simpsons
population
reference.
is unarmed when the U.S. government decides to declare martial law and put every single U.S. citizen in FEMA camps. This is really on that
Well,
website.
150 years ago was when England came back and took over. That's where it actually originated from.
This is actually on their website like every day. So that's why we.
What is
started
up with
that.
people when like catastrophes happen, sort of not addressing that they happen? I get it, like this happened, but it's against my belief, so fuck you. But it did happen. Like, what is it with people not addressing something actually fucking happening?
Well, it's like guns are awful. Oh, someone took a gun and shot up a bunch of school kids in Connecticut. Let me try to keep it within my worldview. Oh, you know what? There's no such thing as Connecticut.
Right.
You had to see today. They found a new chain in the evolutionary chain. Something between Neanderthal and humans.
I love this.
And every comment there was 3 different comments. One, it looks like Michelle Obama. So many like that. 2, I didn't descend from a monkey. Maybe you did, but not me. America. And then
Fuck yeah.
And then 3, oh, I don't know about you, but God made me in His image, so this is clearly false. Those are the only 3 comments on there.
And anything that happened beyond 2015 years ago was nothing.
False flag. Totally made up by the liberal agenda to take us over.
Fossils,
So
non-existent.
here's the thing also. If someone's response
God
to
put
this...
them there to test our faith. I've seen that.
If someone's
seen
response
that.
to this, the fossils are like planted.
Right.
How do you
They're made
argue-
out of plaster of Paris?
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you debate with this person? If someone's going to say the shooting is a hoax, what's the point of debating? They're just obviously not going to believe anything you say.
Right.
You're not going to get anywhere with the guy that doesn't believe the shooting happened.
Right. It's batshit. I don't know.
So
We have
before we end the show, just getting to my for the fluoride thing. So here's my solution to the fluoride thing, and tell me how crazy you think I am.
okay.
So I joined a gym that's by my office now that I'm commuting, and I go there a couple times a week. And so I bring I bring a jug, fill it up with water because the gym is in Manhattan, where they put fluoride in the water, and I take it home and give it to and put it in like bottles for my kids to drink. Is that Is that really weird that I'm bringing water? I'm taking water.
You're just making your kids have autism.
I am going to be, yeah.
They're
My kids will be
guaranteed.
the experiment.
They're guaranteed to have autism now.
I think it's pretty negligent.
And if you were gonna do this, where would you fill up the water? Would you fill it up in the water fountain they have at the gym, or would you fill it up in the bathroom sink?
I would probably fill it
Water
up in the
fountain.
toilet.
No, just where would you do? What would you think would be the better place to fill
Water
the water?
fountain.
Peter, what do you think?
Water fountain.
My wife was like, "How could you use the water fountain? That's disgusting. People put their mouths on it." And I'm like, "But the other
Well,
one's
you
in
know
the
what, that's
bathroom."
true.
I think there's different pipes that go to the bathroom. You might not even be getting the fluoridated water in the bathroom.
Do you think the pipes that that come out of the bathroom sink are any different than the other pipes?
They might be.
But do you think? I mean, come on, are they really?
I also know that 0.5 seconds after water splashes over the mouthpiece of the water fountain, it's washed.
I've been taken from the
It's
water
not like the saliva is permanently there as soon as the water splashes it off.
I don't know what my wife thinks is going to happen. I've been taken from the water fountain because I just feel too weird filling it up in the bathroom.
Water fountain's fine. You think about it. You have spit on like the spout of the water fountain. As soon as the water starts coming out, that spit's washed off.
It's also who puts their mouth on the water fountain besides little kids? And I'm in a
Right.
And
gym.
even them,
so there aren't
it's
any
hard
little
to
kids.
do it. It's hard to put your mouth. Or
Yeah, I don't
tongue
even
on
think
an
little
actual-
kids really do
Can't
that.
even do it with the force of the water.
They get close, but I don't think they really like,
Yeah, no
suck
one's
on the...
no one's blowing the water fountain.
No.
So I'm pretty sure I'm okay.
That's a myth. That is a conspiracy right there. That kids suck on the water fountain. They
Myth
don't.
busted.
Yes.
My wife is a conspiracy theorist.
Last question. Why is Mark into pegging porn? And cut the crap, Mark. You know that what it is, and every damn porn category is okay. Stop acting like you're better than someone else because you claim you don't watch porn.
What is
Here's the
pegging
thing.
porn?
Why are you not into pegging porn?
What is it? I want to get into
I have
pegging
no
porn.
fucking clue. Why, Google it on your computer.
Pegging porn is when the woman wears a strap-on and
Leg or penis?
penetrates the guy.
Wait, is it with a leg or a penis?
Well, I was thinking a peg leg.
I guess
Yeah,
it
me
doesn't
too.
really matter as long as the woman's penetrating the guy.
Oh yeah, as long as the woman penetrates the guy, I get off. It's good. It's good stuff.
Why would that be a thing?
I don't know. The internet's people are really fucking weird.
I don't get like why don't you just watch gay porn? There's plenty of guys who've had breast implants. Like I don't get the why would you want to watch a girl with a fake penis? Don't
I
get
feel
it.
in some ways like
Unless
the
you're a
ultimate,
lesbian and you want
free
the
market
penetration. I don't
is the web. Like every fucking weird thing you could think of or you can't think of basically is on there because some people are interested in this is like the free market of like some people want it, some people are producing peg leg porn.
One of the last shows I did was about cake sitting.
Yes,
We-
that's a whole fetish.
that is a fetish, sitting on a cake.
Just what do you mean sitting on a cake?
Well, you
erotically sitting on a
you
cake.
sit on a cake and you get off. So we were actually wondering if sitting on a cupcake would do in a pinch, or it might be foreplay.
Wasn't that called splashing?
Yes.
How do you figure out you're into this? Like
I've never had a series of events in my life that have led me to accidentally sit on a cake.
Maybe Aunt Rita trips, falls on the birthday cake, ass first, and you're like, well, I kind of got a halfie going on.
and then so that happens and you're like that's kind of hot and you tell your friend I think sitting on cakes is hot and you tell enough friends so someone else is like me too.
Well, maybe when that happens, you just Google like sitting on cakes is hot.
But you figure enough of these people. I mean, before the internet, the stuff someone had to put this on the internet and think this was going to be hot.
I'm gonna
So,
Google sitting on cakes is hot.
How did these
I'm
people,
in.
How do these people with this thing in common find each other? I get if you're like I'm.
Oh my
See
God.
cakes at YouTube, it's all over the place.
Sitting on cakes is hot. Very first hit.
Can
The
you
sexy
do
fetish of
messy
sitting.
cake sitting on YouTube and play it on loud?
Messy cake sitting on.
Do it.
Oh, wow, that's something. Play all. Crushing a cream. Is there a cake that's better than others?
What about pie? Are you
Oh my
playing
God,
it so I can
no.
hear it?
That might be a
okay?
subgenre.
Here we go. Crushing a cream chocolate cake with my Levi's 501 button. Wow, does that matter?
Wait, is that a guy or a girl?
I can't.
I
I
think
think it's a guy.
Yeah, it's a guy sitting on a cake.
There's no sound though.
Is
No.
is there such thing as gay
That guy
cake
loves
sitting? Or
on
is it,
cake.
He's sitting.
He's
slowly.
teasing it. He is
maybe
teasing
it's
it.
straight sitting?
He's
'cause it's
sitting
not like,
right on it now.
Oh, there is sound.
No,
He's just not saying anything.
It's white. It's white.
Wait, is he?
got
But
white
is he
pants
fully
on.
clothed?
Yeah, he's fully clothed. He's got
Who-
white pants on, and he's
I'll
just sitting on
clean
a
that up.
cake.
Yeah, that sucks.
Jay, is he fully erect?
You
It's
can't
hard
tell.
to tell. It's from behind.
Second comment: fucking hot. Would love you to see. Would love to see you do that more with cake.
And then there's 12 M's.
Let me
Are
lick
there-
these jeans. I'm hungry.
And then there's something from a guy called Dian Spit. Den Reis hat es du noch du das Verchen kann. And then there's a smiley face.
You know what the funny thing is? That's a regular commenter on our show.
Messy pie. You know what? I take it back. Pie. This guy's gonna sit on a pie. He's wearing a tutu.
Are these all guys? Oh no, this
No,
is
that's
girl.
a woman.
Yeah, that's a girl.
She loves sitting on that pie so much.
Just better fucking like that pie.
She's wearing. Okay.
I don't.
Well,
The-
now what?
I don't get this fetish at all.
No. She's gonna sit on that pie.
Yeah. Okay. Well, apparently there's
It
enough.
does exist as was specified a few years ago.
Pussy's on fire.
There's a porn of that.
Downhouse, come to the face.
Okay. Anyway. Apparently there's enough where there's like dozens of YouTube videos.
Oh, because it's YouTube. Because it's not even like it could be on YouTube basically.
I would say hundreds.
Yeah, because nobody's naked doing it.
My cousin told me a story about how he was at someone like he had met who basically had all these videos where just like tickling. And that was like the thing was there's no nudity. It was just like people would tickle each other with like feathers and they get off to that.
Huh. Elmo did that.
I wonder if that's
apparently-
hot for someone with a tickle fetish. The tickle me Elmo, is that a must-have?
Apparently.
Is that an easy?
Anyway, we got to wrap this up. We're running long.
All right.
So those people with the tickle fetishes are preying on my kids. Okay, wrap this up.
Thank you for listening, everybody. Brink of Sanity 3 on Twitter. The Brink of Sanity is our email. If you want to leave a voicemail, 631-676-1181. brinkofsanityshow.com is our website.
Jay, what if they want to vote? What if they want to donate to your campaign?
You can contact me through our Facebook group. And then we have The Brink of Sanity on Instagram. And
And also, if you
How
know
do they
how
get to
we
your
can make fun of
presidential
fat people and
campaign?
get 100,000 views on YouTube, let us know.
if you go to the fec.gov, you could check out our Brink of Sanity
Right above Rick Santorum.
right above Rick Santorum. He currently has $662,000 more in donations to his campaign than we do.
If Rick Santorum's views aren't quite for you, look one above him.
Yes. So yes, we will be back soon. We're doing another live show Monday, but that one won't be posted for a few days. Steven says, "Thank you, Peter, for coming on the show."
Thank you for listening.
And yes, thank you for listening, everybody. Please leave an iTunes review and contact us if you want. Thanks for joining, guys, and we'll do it again soon.
Do you remember we used to do 45-minute shows?
Nope.
Goodbye, everybody. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end.